NPC.
Ready, player one.
Welcome to whatever episode this is in
55th.
whatever month and year.
55th.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow. Can you, like, literally, it was months ago that we were like, yeah, 50, and we've done fucking 4. Are you serious? Thank you for hanging in there, Jamie and no one else. Welcome to a shit show. I'm your host, Kane. I've started therapy treatments. My voice is a little more masculine now.
Oh, those kind of therapy treatments. Well, we had a good run. We're going to get taken down now.
I'm sorry. I had
God
a sip
forbid
of milk.
you insult the sensitive people.
The sensitive people. It's not like she called you a, what's it? I can't remember the word now.
Good.
Yeah.
Is it a simp?
A sim.
A simp.
Oh, simp.
We were just watching Pay Money Wubby, and who was it? Some Twitch people were talking about simp can get you banned. Like, you can't say basically any form of hurtful words.
You can't say simp or virgin.
As an
You
insult.
can't say virgin.
No. Doesn't matter.
No,
if
like
they are
towards
one.
someone. Like, shut up, virgin.
Oh no. You might offend someone.
But I feel like in the right context, calling someone a virgin would be really relevant.
What if you just say their name, but say it in a way that it's an insult? Yeah, Melissa.
That's
Are
how
you-
people talk to me.
Are you her?
Fucking Melissa.
Yeah, that's.
You're a Melissa for sure.
I'll
Ooh.
take that instead of Melanie, Marissa, Melinda, everything else I get.
Hold on, I gotta get up.
Anyway, one of us is Kane, and someone's Aaron, and
That's me.
there's also a Martin. Okay, no, there's not. Sorry, everyone. And there's me, Melissa.
Fucking Melissas.
And we are here to review, arguably, one of Aaron's
But
favorite
before
horror
we get to
movies.
that,
What?
Oh god.
what's everyone been up to?
Watching this movie, basically.
Alright then, we can skip everything else. Go straight to that.
Well, why don't you tell everyone what you've been playing?
Well, I've been dabbling.
Dabbing.
I've not, never done it
Dabbing.
once.
Fuck.
Never.
Kane's
an
been
insult.
dabbing.
I've never
non-stop.
dabbed.
It's so annoying.
Been dabbling in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Was it
That's
a
an
good-
insult for Kane. Call him a dabber.
You can start hanging out with my son. He does
Dabba
it all the
dabba
time.
do.
So bad.
So old.
Does he dab?
Yes. And there's all the Fortnite shit. All
You
the
should just
dances.
punch him every time he does.
The flossing dance?
Does all of them. All of them.
All of them same time.
All I know is I'm about to throw the TV at him. TV's higher than him, so I'm just thinking about just pushing
push
it over.
over.
It's not a light TV either. It's the old Sony Bravia.
But you've got
Oh, God.
Nerf guns. You can
So?
shoot him with the Nerf guns.
Just shoot him with the jolt blasters. Fuck the Nerf guns.
So
Not
real-
that,
real
not
gun.
that he has any.
Yeah, because he doesn't. Those are illegal and naughty, ladies and gentlemen.
Not
Do not
yet.
shoot people.
Not
Oh, well, in that case, he's got hella, like, an armory.
they're
He's
illegal.
got an armory.
They're illegal to buy, but they're not illegal to have yet. Because as of next year, I
You've
think
got a
this-
certain date to turn him in by.
So if you have gel blasters out there, everyone, tell the police that you stole them and did not purchase them.
If it comes down to having to turn them in, can we just have a bonfire?
I'm not turning them in. I'm just going to lock them up until
Can
I
we
can get the
just have
license.
a
You
bonfire
can't say
there?
that.
Fuck the police. There you go.
The police.
Because it's a kink of his. Ha ha ha. Anyway, we love the police so much.
No, we're supposed to be against them now.
Why?
That's the way it is in this day and age.
Yeah, okay.
We hate the police.
Well, I think they're alright.
Defund the police.
But I haven't done anything wrong yet. Unlike you.
You were born wrong.
Wow.
So, what's Assassin's Creed like?
You were born wrong. In the wrong body, apparently.
It's Assassin's Creed. It's janky. You run around
It's janky.
doing a lot of things. Collecting things, doing missions.
Time wasting stuff. They padded the fuck out of this.
It's so padded at the same time. It's just enough to be like, it's not quite annoying.
Tell them about Dandelion.
Dandelion.
Dandelion Puff.
The fox. All right, one
I
of
was
the side
thinking of The
quests
Witcher for a
is
second.
like you see a woman outside a burning house screaming, dandelions still inside. So you get into the house.
She
and there's a
tells
little
you to
fox.
rescue her dog. She's like, my dog is stuck inside the house. She accidentally knocked over a candle.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
my
she thought it
house
was a
is
dog.
burning. She's like, please save my dog. And you get in there and it's a fox. And he's like, huh, dandelion, come on, dandelion. And leads a fox out of the house.
Yeah, and then the old lady dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take dandelion back to your camp.
Yeah, because she's
That
like,
is the definition of padding.
she's
No,
laying
that's
there,
fun.
dying,
It's padded as a
coughing
body
up her
pillow.
lungs. And she's like, please take care of dandelion.
Dandelion.
And he's like, it's a fox. And she's like, oh, that's why she loves the woods. And it's so weird. And then she
While
just
she's on
dies.
fire.
See, no, all the side quests are so fucking stupid. They're fun. The real padding is like, go to this area and get a bit of gold so you can upgrade a weapon. And it's like, okay, I don't really want to do that. But all the side quests are fun because they're stupid.
I hate games that give you side quests that was, say, for example, collect X amount of gold, but you already have gold in your inventory.
Yeah.
But that doesn't count. It has to be
Oh,
newly
yeah.
added gold.
Yeah.
You're like, no, fuck off. I already have the gold. Let me auto-complete the side quest.
I actually had a quest where it was like, go to this camp and, get my stuff back for me. The cutscene ends, and then I can just went back into the house because I had already raided that place before. And I'm like, yes! This is what I want in a game.
I get that in Fallout all the time.
It's great. It's
you
such
just
a
talk
little
to someone,
thing.
it's like autocomplete, autocomplete,
Yeah.
autocomplete. You're like, yeah, that's what I get for being thorough.
The busy work is like, collecting gold when you've already got it, and then to go to a shrine to like give up a certain amount of items. And this shrine, it was fish. But I don't want to fucking fish. It takes forever. So I just skip those because it's just annoying.
Don't you hate when you're like, you just sold all your fish that you'd kept forever, and you realize, if I'd only kept them a little longer.
Like,
They
there's
would've been
no
useful.
reason to fish in this game. So there's
Can
why would
I?
I do it? No, it's dumb.
No, but like, once you've finished, can I go and fish and then do the fish shrines?
If you want, you
Thank
can do all the fish shrines.
Thank you. Oh my god, tell them about that girl's brother, Walter or whatever, Wallace, her brother that got turned into a fish.
What? Is this Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Valhalla.
you see this little girl
Gods.
and she's crying and she's like, come out of there, Walter. Like, come on, we're going to be late for tea. And then you go up to her and it's like, what's wrong, little girl? And she goes, oh, my brother was turned into a fish by a witch and I need him to come out so we can go to dinner or mum's going to be mad. And he's like, turned into a fish. And she's like, yes, I need help. So she gives you bait and tells you to like fish her brother out of the lake. So every fish you pull out, and it's annoying. Every fish you catch, she's like, no, my brother has brown eyes. That's not that one. And you catch a bunch of fish. And then eventually her brother comes out of the bushes and just goes, all right, cool, we got enough fish now. And they just wanted to sell the fish to buy candy at the market. So then after you've caught all these fish, the girl
It
goes,
would have been cheaper for you to go earn gold somewhere and buy them candy.
right? So then the girl's like, oh, can we keep the fish that you caught? And you have to either give them the fish or just walk off. And we
I
gave
would've
them the
walked
fish,
off.
but it's little things like that where you're like, why?
I would have threw all the fish back.
Eat the fish in front
The
of them.
side quests are great.
And your
was
character's
it Wallop?
constantly high.
Was it Wallop?
Okay, what has
Okay.
happened to
A
Assassin's
walloping or
Creed? Is this the
something?
first one that's like this?
It's
From
third.
my experience,
Third one.
it used to be science and reality.
Yeah, that's in there sometimes.
Yeah, there's a
And by
little bit.
sometimes I mean once I was outside the Animus.
Like, what is going on? Like, why are you the... Like, are there actually people that are fish? Like, is this... Oh, is it just all stories?
There's all little tales that are inside the game right now.
So nothing's actually supernatural.
Well, you did go to Asgard.
Well, that was like a weird, like, acid trip.
No, he actually went to Asgard.
It was an acid trip.
Yeah, but he was totally there.
He's tripping balls.
Oh, also, Kane can only sleep with men.
Yeah. It's annoying.
Wait, that's your only choice?
So you're married to a female, but you can only sleep with men.
Well,
That's confusing.
In game and out.
Sure.
Yeah, in the game, like
In-game.
you get like loved like options sometimes, and it's only ever happened with guys now. So I'm like, why is it just men?
and he goes, all right. Next
Like-
thing, his character's like throwing guys against walls and making out with them. And Kane's like, I guess.
I want to experience this game. It's just annoying.
He has a girlfriend technically, so we're thinking maybe you can't cheat on her with the same sex.
Ah,
Which doesn't make any sense.
it's like if it's in a different postcode or if it's with a different gender, it's
okay.
okay.
Yeah. Different hole, it's okay. It's only...
It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I
It's
think she's not
A-okay.
Look, it's a weird game.
Look, Assassin's Creed is no longer about the outside world anymore. It's about playing a story of like whatever character you're in. You basically just live out their lives and you just happen to be an assassin.
Yeah, yep.
That's basically what the last 3 have been. Actually, probably more,
You could
really.
be a guy living in modern times working at a meat packing factory, and then you'd learn to be an assassin, and it would still feel like the same franchise.
Will it be like groundbreaking when they do a modern day Assassin's Creed?
Ooh, like assassinating
Or
like
even if
senators
it's like
and stuff.
1950s or something.
Well, that's
Close
no.
to Origin or what? No.
Or like,
Oh, the original ones were pretty close. What was the
yeah, but you weren't in real time.
when's the French Revolution?
Oh,
Is that 1800s?
Yeah, I'm talking like technology and shit.
I think they don't want to do that because they already have a game similar, and that's Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs isn't anything like Assassin's Creed.
It's basically everything like Assassin's Creed, except for the assassinating,
But you
which
don't,
you still do.
you don't jump all over buildings and
Yes, you do.
scale them, do you?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Like
that.
not as much as like you go climbing on top of them,
I
but there's
guarantee
a lot
they'll
of
get
stuff.
sales galore if they do a modern day Assassin's Creed.
I don't think so because everyone hates the modern day stuff
Why?
because it was
No, it'll
interesting.
be a change. It will change it up a little bit.
I don't think the people would like that. I think they like reliving weird
I
ancient
think
stories.
I know what other people like.
I don't think you do.
You guys are weird.
The next one's going to be in Asia, if anything, but Ghost of Tsushima may have already beat them to that.
This is really off topic, but if I don't say it now, I'm going to forget. With your little 3D printer thingy, can you print Neopets?
If you have a 3D file that I can print.
They won't actually be digital. That's what you're thinking.
I've never actually looked for Neopets before.
How dare you?
You're like, oh, don't worry about it.
I'll just upload this into my account. I'm squishing it into the disk thing in my computer.
Like you're going, you're just like squeezing it in here. Okay, it's like, get out.
All right. Anyone else been up to anything interesting?
I've
I
been
got a PS5.
playing
Oh, yeah.
Cyberpunk.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's good.
Wait, that's right.
Really good. I got.
Oh.
What?
Go
What?
with Aaron, but I forgot that Martin's been playing Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah. Fuck
Oh,
off.
yeah.
You're playing Cyberpunk.
How many times it crashed on you?
Twice.
Nice.
Really?
Funny thing-
Groundbreaking crash, as in like had to reset everything, turn the game on and
Alright,
off.
I don't know what everyone's bitching about because I'm playing on a PlayStation, which the console everyone's bitching about. But Fallout has run shitload worse, and everyone loves Fallout still.
No, they don't. Fallout, I still would make the
But-
argument Fallout is the worst launch game in history.
Yes, but no one is. Out of the people that are complaining, there's so many people complaining that they want refunds. and
I
that
would
for
say
Cyberpunk.
the reason for that is because Cyberpunk's fan base, like, there is way more of them than there is for Fallout.
Yeah, but everyone's complaining they want their money back for Cyberpunk, but Fallout runs worse. So
Yeah.
fucking weird.
And didn't a lot of people already, like a lot of people did get refunds, didn't they?
For what?
For 76.
For 76?
Because that was
No,
a
no.
shit show.
That's a different. That wasn't because it ran like crap. That was because no one actually paid attention to the story and what people were saying. And everyone's like, "There's no NPCs,"
Well, there wasn't.
but there wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I know,
But
but
that's what everyone was complaining about.
yeah, I
with
know.
76.
No, it was dumb in that sense. But like that game ran. That game got like I'm pretty sure heaps of people got refunds for that
yeah,
game.
but that
as
game
well.
ran fine. That game ran better. Ran
No, it
worse.
didn't. Every time I
mean,
tried to play that game, it never
Is
worked.
that the one you tried to play with the
76
boys?
ran
and
worse.
it
To be
worked?
fair,
It
there
didn't
was a
work.
beta. There was a beta, and there was enough like footage out there that the game wasn't what people thought it was going to be. Don't buy it. Bloody
76.
yeah,
Yeah.
If you thought it was going to be another like single player Fallout or
Then
a
you're an idiot,
multiplayer
yeah.
version of Fallout 4, then like you knew after that beta that that's not what it was going to
Yeah.
be.
Also, 76, as much as it was a shit show, the footage and stuff they showed you, they didn't lead people to believe it was anything more like what Cyberpunk did. They never showed the base. That's like literally false
Yeah,
advertisement.
well, the funny thing is, Cyberpunk, I didn't really pay much attention to the advertisement. I saw a couple of cutscenes
Yeah.
with Chicano Chicano Reeves.
Chicano Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Whatever.
Sounds like a basketball player.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Whatever. I saw a few cutscenes with him in it,
Yeah.
and they
Keanu
don't look much different to what they do on the PlayStation.
Wait, why'd you grab it then?
What do you mean?
If you didn't even know about it.
Because it's made by the same people that made The Witcher.
Ah,
It's
okay.
got Keanu in
It's
it.
it actually
You're
ran.
sold.
It runs perfectly fine. It's crashed a couple of times.
But it doesn't
Surprised you
run
didn't get it on
because
your
it's
PC.
it's 30 frames at 720. That's horrid.
It runs perfectly
I
fine
know
for me.
that's PS3.
No,
That's PS3 levels.
That's what I mean. Like it's
But it
like
runs,
it can run fine for you for what you think, but it universally is not running well.
But that's what the people are expecting. What are they expecting on a PlayStation 4?
They were expecting the footage they saw.
Yeah, on the PS5.
No,
I did see some actual footage that made me wince. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was real.
No,
but
we've
it
seen
looked like PS. Now PS2 is probably stretching it.
it
looked
looks like
PS3.
it looks like PS3.
Like CGI rendering.
All right, see,
Yeah.
mine doesn't look like that. Mine actually looks
Like
pretty
Sims.
decent.
It looked like Sims quality characters.
Yeah.
Walking around and shit.
So
Oh,
the PC
ugh.
version, you can turn the graphics right down, and it will look like a PS3 console.
That's basically what it is.
That's
that version.
insane that
On
they've
the-
done that. And like, I'm assuming you get other options like reducing the draw distance and
Yeah,
stuff
but you
like
can
that.
turn it all up on the PC, and it runs.
But
and
they're
looks
trying
perfect.
to aim at like anyone that owns anything that's PC-like for a game that
Yeah.
really, in all honesty, should be basically they should have just drawn the line and said that you kind of need at least a 980 or a 780 or something just to run it.
Yeah, but on the consoles, it should have been a PS5 and Xbox.
Yeah, they
X.
should have just cut the bait. The
Yeah, it shouldn't
last
have been a
gen out.
PS4. But
no,
it runs.
but there's already too many rules in place that if you can't make a PS4 Pro only game.
Yeah, I know.
No. It shouldn't have even been on the PS4 at all.
Okay.
It should have been a PS5.
The only problem
and
is
Xbox.
Exclusive
because
Yeah.
it was in development for so long, they couldn't be like, we're skipping the thing we advertised. Like they couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, they still. I agree. They should have made a deal somehow, but I don't know if that would like break too many rules to only be on the Pro and the X series,
The Xbox One X
One X.
and up, basically.
But if they'd advertised it early enough, they probably could have dealt with the outcry of people being annoyed that it won't work on the PS4 base version. But it's 7 years old, man. This is a new game. Like,
Well,
people should suck it up.
you know when the game was first announced?
2012.
2012.
Really?
That was like the concept of we're doing Cyberpunk. I think it's been in development for like the past 5 or 6 years.
Oof.
Yeah, like I said, the only problem I've had is crash twice. Other than that, I hadn't had any game-breaking problems yet. The graphics look perfectly fine. It runs smooth.
But see, I've seen footage. I cannot trust that looks fine because it looks like Vaseline covered screen. And they've already done tests to show this thing's running at 720 and it drops to 480 sometimes.
No,
What-
I haven't noticed any of that. So
What is so special about this game that it could be so broken? As in, like they were working on this so hard to get this to work.
see, I don't know.
Like when you've got other games that are just as advanced out there,
Uh,
not broken.
There are some things I've noticed, like in Grand Theft Auto, if you get out of a car that you've stolen,
Yeah,
the car disappears after a while.
yeah.
After you've
That
parked
doesn't
someone.
happen in this.
I've stolen cars and parked them in the same spot next to each other. Come back an hour later.
That just comes down
after
to
running around
memory.
the city, and it's still sitting there.
That comes down to
This is-
memory. They wouldn't actually have that in Grand Theft Auto if they aimed higher
Yeah.
in the specs.
That's just some of the things I've noticed in this game, which a lot of
Yeah,
other
but
games
see,
don't.
that's
Same-
settings. That's
Yeah.
settings. Like object permanence, I suppose, is kind of a, I don't know what the actual terminology would be, but like when you shoot people and only so many will stay on the floor before they start
They
despawning.
stay
Yeah.
there. Until
That
you-
literally just comes down to the
collect
memory
everything.
allotment.
Yeah.
How much
Ah.
active memory it can use.
That sounds like on the PS3, not Skyrim, what's the one before it?
Elder
Elder
Scrolls 3.
Scrolls,
Elder Scrolls, no, 3. Not
Morrowind.
Oblivion.
Oblivion.
So Oblivion.
Oblivion.
Wait, Elder Scrolls. Yeah, the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
it ran worse the more you played the game.
Yeah,
And that's
everything
because-
stayed there.
That was a
Because
memory
it
leak.
was remembering doors open and things that you'd done
Yeah.
hours ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, that shouldn't be in this. Like, you gotta turn that off.
Yeah, well, they can. Like,
The PC version
toward
of
the
that was
immediate
Yeah, the PC
area.
could do it.
Like, you only expect it to remember in the immediate area. Like, you're on a console. Like there's
Yeah.
limitations, but yeah, like that doesn't impress me. Like, what is the game doing that it would be so broken because they were working so hard for 5 years to make it do this new thing that other games don't do? How do they
Penises.
not have the experience? What did you say?
Penises.
The penises.
As penises?
Yeah.
Well, at the start of the game, and that's it.
You can turn it off.
That's it.
At one, so you can see it during the game as well, at certain points,
Yeah.
but not often.
How did that get in here
What?
to Australia? They ban everything.
It's
Anything.
very R-rated.
The Prime
Sorry?
Minister likes
It's
cock.
R-rated. But you can
Prime
have a
Minister.
hermaphrodite. Is that the word I'm looking
Nice.
for?
Yeah.
Is that when they've got the boobs? No, that's
Yeah.
both genitals, isn't it?
No, so they got
Yeah,
boobs.
both
You can have
genitals.
boobs and a penis, or
Oh,
you can have
okay.
you can be a guy with a vagina.
A guy.
Okay.
A guy vine.
Huh.
So,
Guy Viner.
It's not Guy Viner.
Look, no matter what, any game that runs 720 or lower on these consoles,
Yeah,
that's not
checkerboard
acceptable.
720.
that is not acceptable. And I think it's because these guys are just PC based. They love their PCs and they hate
yeah,
consoles.
it probably would run better on the PC, but
Oh no, I just mean they're like The Witcher. When people forgot when The Witcher 3 came to consoles, it ran awful.
No, I
Yeah.
heard it was running bad on the PC as well. The
Oh, no.
crashes are separate from
Oh yeah,
everything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fraught with bugs.
yeah, I don't. Like I said, I haven't seen any problems. So
Yeah.
Their statement was so bad. It was
Oh, my
basically
God.
like, yeah, we probably should have tried harder for console users. It's like, what? Like, or it was, we should have put more effort in. It was worded so
But
bad.
then there's the previous one, like you go a week back, and they're like, it runs pretty good on consoles.
see, that's what I'm
like-
saying. It doesn't seem that bad to me.
It runs, as in, like, it turns on.
Yeah,
it
you
starts.
it turns it on.
I
It
guess
starts pretty good
it's-
most of the time.
it's super weird to me that they're even selling it for PS4 and
Oh,
like the older Xbox.
Sony's taken it off their digital store, so you can't
Yeah, I
buy
Yeah.
saw
it digitally.
that. But I just
So-
think, like, why? I guess they would have had to test it, surely, if they see how weird it's running.
I'm actually annoyed that Sony even let it on the store.
Right?
They should do better vetting of games.
Yeah, but they let Life of Black Tiger get on their store, so
What's that?
it literally looks like a PS1 game. I'm not even joking.
But is it just like,
That's an indie game, though, isn't
is
it?
it an indie game?
I guess, but I mean, like,
You
But
can
is
sell
it-
whatever
is
you
it
want to sell.
fun?
Did they hype?
No.
Did they hype this up though, Kane? Did they hype it up as something it wasn't?
front page material.
Was Keanu Reeves in it, Kane?
Yeah.
Maybe he was the voice.
Like this though, like they've made it seem like it's going to be a
Next
AAA
coming-
game,
yeah, I
like
know.
the fucking greatest thing ever, and for it to have so many issues is absolutely insane. And I'm not talking about the bugs. PlayStation can't be expected to play games enough to see how many bugs there are, because everyone has games come out with bugs. I'm talking about the ability to play the game
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
on the console in any kind of reasonable
Yeah,
with
okay
any
with it.
kind of reasonable experience.
Yeah.
That is silly. They should have just been, look, you can't release this on the PS4 like this. You need to either optimize everything, or it can only come
was
out on the PS5.
So there's one thing I did do on mine was in the graphics settings. I turned all the sun glare off, all the blur
Oh, you can do
off.
that on the console.
Yeah, I turned my blur
yeah.
off, my sun glare
That probably
off.
would help a lot, I reckon.
I turned a bunch of the stupid effects off.
Yeah.
Field of depth of field and that, because one of the features they have is something stupid, where it makes it look like an old school, like the Blade Runner movies. How it still looks
Actually, I haven't seen them in so long, so
Filters.
it's got like the whole movie has some really weird looking filter over it,
yeah.
which makes it look old and kind of.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This game has that feature on it where you can turn that filter on, which
Yeah.
makes it look worse. So I've turned all that off.
Demon Souls has that.
Does it?
You see how many filters?
Oh
you
wait,
can
yeah,
use?
sorry, it has a ton of
Yeah.
filters.
Yeah,
though.
this-
Crazy amounts of
this-
different filters.
This only has the one type of filter.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it, but it makes the edges of the screen look blurred a lot more than what it should as well.
Why have they not released it for the PS5 yet? I don't
That
understand.
comes out next year.
They're still working on a PS5 release to make it run at
That should have been easier.
okay.
That should have been
And-
easier.
Yeah.
It's going to be like an optimized.
I
one.
guarantee they're going to do 1080, and it's like 1080 30 on the PS5.
No,
That's why
'cause
they're
it
still
already,
going.
It already runs 1080 60 on the PS5.
Is it really though?
Yes,
Like, how do you know?
Digital Foundry.
What do you mean?
Digital Foundry test every game that comes out, basically. Well, the big ones anyway.
Yeah, but all right. So, is it locked 60?
Yes, it has enduring
Did
crazy.
you say 1080?
Huh? Yeah.
That's not good enough on
Well,
the PS5.
it's actually, I think it is higher.
it's supposed to be 4K this generation.
But it's not. It's backwards compatible. It's not really next gen. Like, it's
Yeah.
playing the PS4 Pro version.
Oh, okay.
So because it just brute forces it, pushes the frame rate and the resolution up.
Oh, wait. Are you saying that playing the PS4 version on the
PS
PS5
Yeah.
is 1080
Yes.
60? Okay.
So if you can play it that way, and then you've still got bugs and crashes. You don't have the Vaseline look, and it's like other stuff.
Yeah, well, that's not impressive. Like, if they
It's
were
not
like,
impressive, but they said it's short of the PC. It's the best way to play it right now.
yeah, I think they like the only reason I can see that they haven't released it is because they're trying like hard, like fucking super hard to optimize it to get 4K. 4K is 4 times the pixels
Yeah, I know.
of 1080p, and just because it's running 1080p at 60, they're probably struggling to get anywhere close to 60 hertz 4K. It's actually scary.
I don't know what they're doing. Everyone said they were a great company, but I never thought they were. Like, The Witcher 1 and 2 are fine. They look fine. And 3, even that is like...
That looks great
Looks-
on the PC.
See, maybe on a PC it looks great, but I never thought it... Like, I've even seen the PC footage. It doesn't look any better to me than a game like The Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima, which is an open world.
Yeah, no, it's not the greatest looking game, but there's a lot to do.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, that's fine. They're good at making stories. Like, that's definitely where they like. From what I've heard, everyone says the
Oh, the
stories
story's
and that
great so far.
are great. Witcher had great side quests and stories, but it seems like when it comes to making the game run, and the AI in Cyberpunk is supposedly horrid. Like, it's years backwards.
How? Like, how have they spent this long? Is it a super small team?
This time they
they're
were
bigger.
working with Capcom. Capcom, I think it was. This
Like
time?
that's
What?
fine. Like, but if you're developing a AAA game and you've just got a small team, then you're
Yeah.
kind of like you've got a little more understanding about
definitely.
why they haven't gotten further in 5 years or 6 years or whatever it's been. But for a game to have that much development time and come out broken and not even release the PS5 version at the same time, it's so silly. Like, why?
But I mean,
have it-
even the PC version, which is their bread and butter, is still breaking. That's
I don't even know why they released it before Christmas.
because they wanted to get the
No, I
sales.
meant like this much before Christmas. If they'd released it now and spent until now shoring it up, it'd probably be in a better state.
Yeah, but they wanted the money.
It's still just before
Did
Christmas.
you see what their pre-orders were?
Nah,
8 million.
that's pretty good.
It's probably more pre-orders than I think I've heard any other game ever have. And it's sold over 15 million.
They made their money back like within the first day of release.
It's stupid.
So that's why they released it, because they're fucking making shitloads. But supposedly a ton of refunds is coming back in. And their stocks dropped.
Yeah,
to
but
the,
do you know how many people actually can be bothered going through a refund process?
they're
Most
making it
people
easier.
that are underage probably aren't even going to try to get a refund.
Oh, no. definitely
Rachel
not.
wanted me to do it and get it for the PC. I was like, no, I'm happily playing it on here.
Yeah, if you're happy, you're happy.
Yeah.
But like, you shouldn't have to be, I'll accept it and just play it this way. It should be a functioning game. Like,
Like I said, it functions for me.
oh, yeah, if it functions for you, then
You
that's
gotta remember,
fine.
I play Fallout all the time, and I have more problems with Fallout. Like
I had so
game-breaking
many
bugs.
problems with Fallout. Like, I lost my save twice.
I haven't had that yet.
Just in the starting of the game.
Yeah, never
I
had
played
that.
for an hour and a half, and then it just crashed. And then when I started, I had to start from the beginning. I was so angry. I had to make my character from scratch. I'm like, that's too far back. Like, if it crashed and I still had my character, I probably would have just run through that section again. But having to remake my character, I was just like, "Urgh," and just rage quit. In fact, I only went back like months later, and it still angered me. And I only ended up playing for another couple hours, and then I turned it off again. But yeah. Anyway, anything else?
How you going with the PS5?
Yeah, good. I transferred all my shit, downloaded a bunch of games. I downloaded No Man's Sky, then deleted the PS4 version that came included, then found out I needed to open my save on the PS4 version to transfer it to the PS5 version.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to re-download the PS4
yeah,
version,
I forgot about that.
and that only just finished when I got home. So I just been playing Demon Souls at the moment.
Okay.
So
And you only just got to the.
I just beat the Phalanx.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
fancy people on your PS5s.
Hey, PS5 has got just as many bugs as the fucking Cyberpunk.
Just before the Phalanx, I unlocked that room. I'm like, I don't want to risk running across that bridge and getting burnt by the dragon. So I
Yeah.
went back all the way to the beginning, went back to the Nexus to try and use my souls. You can't use your souls until after you beat that boss. So I
wait,
couldn't
after
upgrade
you
any.
beat the Phalanx?
No, before.
Oh, you got to him.
Well, no, I didn't even get to him because I didn't cross the bridge
Oh,
to
the
the
bridge you have to
dragon.
run across. Okay, because I was thinking there's another bridge. I was
Yeah.
thinking of that one.
And so I went back, all the backtracked because I wanted to use my souls to level up
Yeah,
a
I
bit.
think I did the same.
Because I didn't want to risk
Yeah.
going against the boss and losing
I
5,000
did it
souls.
when I opened the shortcut. Then I ran back down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's still all right.
Yeah.
That just means you had to run straight up the
Yeah, I know,
stairs.
I'm just like, I was like, oh, fuck.
I didn't.
fuck.
I had to run through half the stage again to fucking get back to that bridge with the dragon. That was annoying. Oh, fucking, yeah, I beat the Phalanx first go.
Are you playing in fidelity or performance?
I don't know. I didn't see any options to change anything.
Well, if you press start, you go to options, and there'll be fidelity or performance. And one's 30, one's 60.
That reminds me, on the
Probably on performance.
Ubisoft today, they were giving away Trials Rising
Really?
for free for the PC. So if you
I
want to,
should get it. I got no reason, but
you might want
Just
to
get it.
hurry up before midnight or whatever time.
I don't really play it anymore. For now, I'll probably.
For
get back
now.
I'll get back into it.
I
Some
turned my
point.
computer on for the first time today in months, and noticed there was when I updated my Ubisoft, it was saying get this for free. So I downloaded it, and then I started playing Trackmania because I noticed that came out too in July.
Fucking Trackmania.
Well, check. Make sure you're on performance mode, because it's so much better to play that 60.
I might run around in fidelity mode after I've killed everything and I'm just looking for stuff.
I could notice it, the difference, but then again, you've got a 4K TV, so. The bastards, after I finished Spider-Man, they released performance mode with ray trace. Yeah, like ray tracing, and I went back into it, and I was like, oh god,
So much beautiful.
I notice it.
That's harsh.
It's so annoying.
Ray tracing's cool. Been playing Minecraft and ray tracing today as well.
The worse looking the game, the ray tracing just you can notice it so easily.
Minecraft
With it
beautiful.
is crazy with ray tracing.
That's because a lot of modern games already have
Some sort of feature like
Yeah,
they
some
have,
light-
They have this weird smart light placement
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
where they brute force it in different ways. So to go to ray tracing, it's only
with Minecraft, though, it's not just the ray tracing. They change a lot because, like, the glass in Minecraft, how it's like really bad looking with the ray tracing on. It's like really reflective. They've actually changed the texture
yeah.
type of thing as well. So, but it looks amazing. My kids are complaining about my computer because it's just sitting there doing nothing. They want my graphics card.
They want it.
They want just for the ray tracing, but they have no idea what ray tracing is.
Do they have a? They don't even know. Do they have a PS5 version for Minecraft?
I don't know.
Don't think so.
Better.
No, because
I want unlimited draw distance.
you're not getting unlimited choices. All right. What are you? What have you been up to?
Being a sloth.
All right. Good to know.
No, I'm thinking. Well, the other day, Kane had a nap, so I watched 3 Christmas movies
Oh
on
my
Netflix.
God.
And by the time he woke up, I wished I was dead. You know when you see, I guess you guys probably
You know
don't.
when you watch 3 Christmas
no.
movies in a row,
You
and
know
you're just
when
like, I'm done.
you've got a movie you keep seeing on Netflix, and you're like, oh, I might check that out someday when I have nothing to do. I was like, fuck, I finally got a day. Like Kane's not
With
going to
nothing
bitch
to
about
do.
it. And I watched the first one, and I was like, I mean, it's a movie. And I watched the second one and went, oh, that's not great. And I got to the third one, and I was like, I can't watch this.
What were they?
Oh god. The last one had like, is it Vanessa Hudgens or something? Some Disney actress in it, and it's called like a Christmas Night or something.
I don't know that one.
A guy that's a knight from the 1300s
Oh.
travels through time to
Yes.
find
You
his
lost
true
me
love,
already.
and
Oh, I know that one.
I thought
Why
it,
do you know
like,
that?
I
thought
know
it-
that one.
I thought it wouldn't be that bad.
I haven't even
right?
watched the trailer for that.
It's horror.
I skipped too quick for the trailers to start on that shit.
Wow, what was the other one I watched? It was like a Cinderella story. So they do a bunch of Cinderella stories. So it's like a girl that's treated really bad by an evil stepmom. She's always got 2 stepsisters.
Oh, I worked out what your problem is.
Mhm.
You.
Yeah.
You're choosing bad movies.
Yeah, and I have a great time with them. She got
But
with
you
the
said you
rich
didn't.
guy, and well, no, because I don't know if that was the first or the second one. The last one was terrible, and
It all
I think the
blended
middle
into
one
one.
wasn't great either. I couldn't tell you what I watched. I don't know. Anyway, it was a great time. Fall Guys season 3 came out.
God.
I just
And-
downloaded Fall Guys.
Are you gonna play?
Maybe.
When?
It's still broken.
Not
It's still
you're
broken?
fucking
How many matches have you gotten? Huh?
I only did like a handful.
I got through
And you're
half a
saying
match
you got
and then gave
matches
up.
all the time?
Nah, look.
I gave up on half a match of Fall Guys and then never played it again.
See, my
Wow.
problem is season 1. I played it for hours every day. Well, not hours, but I played it at least once every day. I got to level 40, finished it, was so happy, right? Season 2 was so fucked with bugs and stuff and me not being able to get matches at all for days at a time that I got halfway.
Yeah.
So now season 3
on
is
the season
out.
pass?
Yeah. So now so I never unlocked all the fun little characters and you know, I miss out on all that shit. And now it's like season 3 and it's like a little bit better for finding matches, but not much. And considering you can set it to Australian servers and stuff, like it shouldn't be that difficult to find matches, but everything just glitches. But
Well, you'd be
they-
surprised how quickly player base will drop off if there's issues.
Yeah, I guess.
And if you're choosing Australian servers,
But
then
you're
you're
fucked in the
really
first place.
limiting yourself to how many people you're going to play with.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, putting it on Australian, I was getting heaps of matches and it was great.
Yeah.
And then the minute the next round of bugs kind of came out, it was like, oh, I can't get a match at all. So then I'd set it to whatever server, like automatic, and still wouldn't get them. And I tweeted about it a bunch of times, but they don't notice.
Yeah, but they
don't
didn't
care.
respond
Because
to me
they're getting it
directly.
for everyone. It's
I
like when
know.
Rocket League first came out.
Mm.
When a small studio gets that much success, they're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, they're hiring new people all the time. Like, they said that their team grew from, like, 12 people to heaps of people or something. So, like, they are trying. But it's just disappointing, I think. Like, I don't like not finishing the season. But to be fair, like, the new season levels are quite fun. It's all new obstacles and stuff. It's not just like, here's a new level with all the old obstacles. It's
Yeah.
all new obstacles.
Ooh.
So it's like giant fans and giant fists that, like, punch you and, like, little trick things that, like, you stand on them and they throw you through the air. Like, it's good fun. But
I might come back for new stages.
yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I played without Kane, and out of 6 games I did, so it was like 6 rounds, 5 of them were new. And I was like, wow, awesome. I'm like, Kane, come on, try the new game. We did 5 games, and 4 of them were old, and 1 was new. And I was like, I am so fucking sorry. I don't know why we're getting the old ones. So it was great.
It's because Kane was there.
Yeah.
I am the worst luck charm.
Oh, I won a game.
What a surprise.
I won
Oh, yeah. Yakuza like a dragon.
Yakuza.
Wait, you finished a game or you won a copy of a game?
I won a copy.
Won a competition for it.
And it is the same people who I won a competition from a few months ago and they never sent my prize, so I told them off and I'm hoping for 2 prizes.
What did you win?
Nothing exciting. Months and months ago, I won a guitar pick, like a
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2 guitar pick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to just put in the collection of
Yeah.
stuff, but they never sent it out to me.
Hmm.
So I was like, hey, thanks for never sending my guitar pick. I was really excited about it. I didn't really. I was very polite. You don't
Like,
get
it's still coming.
nice things.
Is it?
Like, seriously, there are some things where, when it's not for profit, might, like,
can take
3 or 4
ages.
months later, it's
It's-
like they literally haven't even built them yet or had them made.
Is it an Australian company? Like competition?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nah, look, usually they're pretty good. I've won a couple of things from them before, but I think they just completely forgot because Corona sort of happened, and I would imagine they never sent it. Which, like, it's not a huge deal, but I've found lately that instead of me just, like, pussing out and being like, oh, well, if I complain about things, I'm sort of getting results lately. Like, we ordered Domino's the other night, and my pizza was like... When you order a loaded pepperoni, you expect to not be able to see the pizza base, right? I think I
No.
had about 9 slices of pepperoni on my whole thing.
Yeah, that's not enough.
And so I took a picture of the receipt and of the pizza, and I emailed corporate, and they were like, "We're sorry about that. We'll contact where you got it from, but here's a free pizza and a side." So then tonight we were able to get Domino's, and it cost us like $20 because, you know, got to get all the stuff.
Had that happen with Domino's.
It's pretty good. Unlike Macca's, if you're listening, Mr. McDonald.
They're not.
Yeah, I complained, and they charged me $30
No,
for
because
complaining.
they fucked up a few of our orders, and I complained, and they're like, "Hey, we'll send you a voucher. We're so sorry about that." And they never sent the voucher. So then I contacted them again, and they ignored me. And then the other night, we ordered 2 frappes. So they're like the icy drinks with the cream and stuff on top. They arrived with no straws. So I don't know if we were supposed to just scoop the cream out with our hands, maybe, like barbarians. But they also had a hot
Barbarians with
chocolate.
their frappes.
They had a hot chocolate in there, not sitting in the cardboard, just sitting on the bottom of the bag. And it tipped over, of course, and went everywhere, and everything was covered in hot chocolate. And the guy hands me the bag and then just walks off, and I'm like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "Oh, this feels wet." I look inside, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
Did you call him back?
No, he legged it. He was gone.
He
But
knew.
there,
It was
well,
him.
no,
He
'cause-
took the cup holder.
no, but the bag was sealed. There was just no cup holder. So I immediately emailed them, and I'm like, "Hey, the fuck? There's hot chocolate on everything, and there's
Yeah.
no spoons." And yeah, I am yet to get a response. So.
Aw.
And then we said we wouldn't order from them, and then here we are.
Wait,
Of course
Enjoy.
you're going
Why'd
to.
you-
There's only
why'd
so
you-
many options.
Why'd you order from them?
Because we had equal problems the other day with our fucking cheeseburgers.
No.
So, have you
How many
seen the
problems
movie?
could there be with a cheeseburger?
Wait, all
There's
right.
very
last,
few ingredients.
Last quick story. We were like,
Hurry up.
we hadn't
I'll
had.
finish it off. We got the wrong
No!
order.
We've had that happen.
We ordered breakfast basically, so 2 muffin meals, and then we're like driving off with our order. We get our drinks. We look in the bag, and I'm like, this is 4 cheeseburgers and some nuggets. This is not breakfast. And so we're all choking down.
Sorry,
these
we
cheeseburgers.
substituted.
I had the aggressively
everything.
nuggets and cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Have you seen the Macca's movie? The documentary, remake, whatever you want to call it. There's a movie on Netflix.
I think I know which one you're
about
talking about.
how Macca's came about.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah.
Oh, no.
I saw Amy watching it, and I saw minutes of it.
It's actually quite interesting. You should watch it.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called actually.
Some fucking basically scamming bastard went to a place where there was the very first Macca's and convinced him to allow him to make it a chain,
A franchise.
a franchise. But the guy remained control of his own franchise, like his own store, the original guy. And then he basically took over McDonald's, even though the original creator of the McDonald's, like,
We're called those McDonald's is their last
yeah,
name.
they were allowed to keep their name, but they weren't the McDonald's we know. And
That's
like,
an incredibly long name.
Yeah, yes. I'm trying to find the name.
I don't know the name of the movie.
No wonder why I never saw it there.
I like that Aaron's like, I only watched a couple of minutes. It was really shit. Anyway, here's what happened.
No, that's the premise.
The founder.
The founder, yeah.
Oh, I think I did see.
Yeah, he screws him over basically.
Yeah.
You know, this podcast could be separated into 2 podcasts. We could make up for missing weeks.
That requires effort. All right. Who picked this week's?
Me.
2 out of 10. Next movie.
No.
All right, Insidious 2010. Got a.
I thought we were
6.8.
doing old movies that scared us.
Yeah, we
What
were.
are you on?
She explained that.
I did.
I don't listen.
You forget how young she is.
Look, we'll get to that.
I do.
6.8 on IMDb, 66 Rotten Tomatoes,
There we
45
go.
Common Sense, 90 Google.
90? Fucking Google users are idiots.
What'd you
Well,
call me?
apparently you are too, because you liked this movie.
When did I like it?
Wait, let me see.
What?
What? He like? Oh wait, no, the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boring.
Ages ago, you and Amy, you were like, they're really good.
I don't
think
remember
they
this at
like
all.
The Conjuring, not Insidious.
No, it was this, because they watched both of them back to back.
I haven't watched this movie before.
Yes, you
I
have.
Nah.
I
This is
was
the
getting
first time I had no idea what was happening.
I was getting this movie confused with The Conjuring,
Yeah.
thinking we were watching The Conjuring because I love The Conjuring. And I watched this and I'm like, this is not the movie I thought it was. This is actually really boring.
Like, I'm over exaggerating.
Boring.
All right,
It's not a 2 out of 10,
it's
but it's not great.
but there's no pace to it. Like it's so slow.
Yeah.
Like you get halfway.
Slow. You were like Pet Cemetery.
But
They
Pet-
walk miles.
First, they tried to build up the character's like relationship
Yeah.
and like try to make you feel like he was an asshole husband.
Yeah, because
Until the very end, where they make him seem like he's like he's actually a caring father, and then it's just like,
Wait a minute, when was he a bad father?
In the
all
beginning.
the fucking time. Wouldn't take his kids to school. Wouldn't
He
help
couldn't,
his
he was
wife
busy.
unpack. He's a fucking liar.
He's working.
Well, you move house.
He
you
only
can't have an
lied at the
afternoon
end.
off of
He
yeah,
work.
he only
lied at the
lied
end.
when he was having a hard time with
He's a
it.
piece of shit. He didn't even tell his wife that he couldn't take the kids to school, and she's like,
He
"Oh, you
forgot.
could." Oh yeah, it's so hard doing one thing.
Have you got
Meanwhile, she's got
kids?
3 kids.
She chose to
I've
have
got-
them.
But that's what I'm
Pain and
saying.
cats.
They tried so hard to paint him as a villain.
He's a
For
villain.
what reason?
Have you seen him in
To
Hard
what-
Candy?
But no, but that's-
Pedophile.
Quiet. Oh yeah. No, but to what end? To what end was
I
that
don't
building
know.
up of that like assassinating his character? For what reason?
Well, I guess it was less out of the blue than when he like stays at work to avoid her because he's scared of the
No,
ghost.
that's because he realized
Yeah,
he
the
was
ghost.
remembering what's it called, astral projecting, and he was like having dreams of what used to happen that he was repressing, and he was fucking scared of the house.
Yeah, so he left his wife and children.
Yeah, that's the biggest jerk act.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't come out of the blue because you'd already seen he was a cunt at the start.
I didn't think he was a cunt at the start. I never
Yeah,
got that
you
idea.
wouldn't. You'd be like, look at that hard-working man working his 6 hours a day, coming home to his
6
lazy
hours?
wife.
Only buying fucking wax fruit.
All right, couldn't even have an apple.
He just wanted an apple. Man just wanted an apple. You're not coming home if there's no fruit.
Her kid wanted cereal, and he'd hidden the bowls.
He didn't. They got hidden by
It was
other things.
implied.
But
It
my point
wasn't.
is, like, the story already struck me like this is bad writing. Because, like, in the beginning, I'm like, oh, there's a bad relationship. Where's this going to go? It went nowhere. So that was all for nothing. I honestly cannot even guess why they assassinated his character that way.
I don't know how you get that. I didn't get that from that at all. Everything you said doesn't make any sense of bad relationship. How's about just he works, she stay at home? That's all you got from that.
No. They were assassinating his character.
You don't get that though.
Yes, you do.
Why? If he was bad, he'd have been like, "You fucking take."
She
care
knew
of
exactly
everything."
what I meant.
Yeah, because she's like working dad. Fuck off. You only work 6 hours.
It's not the working dad
You're saying at
aspect
the
of it.
start of the movie, that's what the vibe you got was they were making him look like a bad father.
It was
Not a
just-
bad father, just a bad,
No,
like,
look.
not necessarily father or husband, just like a jerk.
I guess I just saw her
And
as-
like, sorry, like
Yeah,
it
no,
was
go.
a strained relationship. That's what
Yeah.
it seemed like. She was getting to the point where she's like, I can't put up with this anymore. You're not helping enough. That was it. That's what I thought. Like, he's not emotionally involved enough. And there was only one statement made by her that solidified that, and that's when he was staying at work late. Then when he does rock up, she's like, "You're not here."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I had to work." She's like, No, you're not here with like involved in this family type thing."
Yeah, but that was already after the stress of everything.
No,
Not the
it's
beginning.
it's to do with the beginning as well.
I don't think it because that was
I think it
that was
is.
months later.
I don't know if it's months.
It was months.
How many months, Kane?
3.
3 exactly.
That's not that long.
Well, it is if your child's in a fucking weird coma that no one can diagnose, and your wife looks like she's going insane. I'd stay at work
She probably
too.
was going insane. She
I
probably
think
was
they
going
kind
insane.
of allude to her having, I don't know if she had like postnatal depression or something, like how she talks about that she doesn't want the new house and everything to be how it was at the old house, like where she couldn't work on her music and she was overworked, and like she gave the impression of having a lot of problems before they moved. So I guess,
Which move?
well, the one before, like when
the
they
original.
move, so when they move into the original house, they keep alluding to the fact that she's hoping for a new start, right? So then it's kind of like she's trying to set up the house and give herself a new start, and her husband's just kind of in his own world doing his own thing. Like it was not a huge problem for him, whatever it was. So I do, like, I get what you mean with making him a bit jerkish, but I guess I didn't get the vibe that that's what that scene was for. I think it was more setting the tone for, like, they love each other and they're, like, they have their little life together, but he's just kind of, like, a little bit more detached, I guess.
Or just happily going to work?
He's not as involved.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
like,
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
But they're just making it seem. They made it feel like it was getting to her, his actions. You can see it in the way, like her facial expressions with what she's saying.
So
She
you
seems
think,
frustrated with him.
so you think that like when she finally says like you're not present with us with this problem, that
Yeah.
it's been building up since even before the kid was in the coma.
I think so.
Okay.
I guess for me that. is
Otherwise,
only-
why have it? Like, why even go into the whole, like, her being annoyed that he's not helping take them to school, his snoring. Like, they're just building it up like she's getting frustrated, annoyed at him directly. If it didn't have the scene with the snoring, and then the kids during breakfast, and then her asking where my books are, and him just snobbing it off.
Didn't she wake up from a nightmare though?
Nah, there's a couple. Nah, the beginning of the movie starts with her waking up to him snoring.
I thought she woke up from a weird dream.
That's
But
later
that's
in the
much.
movie.
That's later.
That's later when she's
okay.
having weird shit.
Like,
happen.
so
No,
she's
not
just.
when she wakes up gasping, but
It's
I
like
thought
3
that,
or 4 scenes
I
of.
thought the lead-in was showing her like waking up with a weird dream.
No.
Do you remember that? Like,
I don't remember much of the movie in the end because I found it so boring.
it wasn't great. But anyway, like they showed so much about their personal relationship
Yeah, yeah.
and the current state of it, and then it's like almost pointless and didn't mean anything at the end. I'm like,
But why
why?
didn't it mean anything?
what did it mean? What did it like? There was no outcome. It's just suddenly she saw that he was crying about the son and accepted that it was potentially a supernatural thing after he got annoyed and sent the psychic lady away.
Yeah, because he
And then it was just like, and then they're suddenly on the same page.
wasn't
and
it
everything's
because he didn't
good.
believe it until he saw the actual pictures.
Yeah, I think so. But until that point, they weren't on the same page, and it didn't amount to anything besides that little conversation out the front of the house that you're not you're not here, you're like, not physically here, you're not part of this. That's it. I'm like, so you wasted how much of the start of the movie building up this thing to not amount to really anything. Seemed like a whole bunch of wasted time, and it literally just felt like a reskin of the Poltergeist in so many ways. Like, in so many facets of this, it was insane. And I'm like, all right. And then at the end, it was just like, we've got to be a little different than the Poltergeist. So they changed the end. I guarantee when they first made it, that wasn't the end. It was a happy ending like the Poltergeist. And then it was like, let's just change it.
Well,
It's got to be a little different.
I was gonna say the second movie directly continues straight after.
I don't remember the second movie. I didn't remember this one.
Ask Amy and see what she says. It'd be funny to say just like we.
I don't
saw
think
this.
Amy had watched it either.
They did, didn't they? Like
Well, you told me they did.
I could have swore they did.
Well, I thought Insidious was like, you know, the front, like on the front cover of a movie, like, you know, sometimes that's the thumbnail, was like a body of a person like this and a skull. What's that?
The Descent.
Yeah, the descent.
Okay, that's what I had in my head. I thought that's what we're about to watch. I can imagine Insidious with that picture. I don't know what the descent is either.
When they go into the cave and the old deformed like
There's
mutant
creatures
people
down
were in
there.
there.
That's not familiar to me either.
Descent's great.
I think it's weird.
If I've watched this, it's so little influence on me that I don't remember it at all. Nothing rang a bell.
It's so weird to hear that like you feel like all their relationship stuff was wasted because I guess like it just felt like creating characters for me. Like it was a husband that doesn't really believe in the supernatural. He's a bit like standoffish and grumpy because he doesn't remember his traumatic childhood, so he's like a bit emotionally stunted. And then it's like a wife that's struggling to run a household, work on her music. Now she's got a baby. Like she's dealing with a bunch of shit and her husband's not super supportive and present. And then as it goes on, of course he doesn't believe her because he thinks that she's overworked and like freaking out and being dramatic. And then even when he sees like the front door get open and the alarms go off and stuff, he still doesn't believe her.
I don't know. Like, he seemed reasonably understanding considering how insane she seemed.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was going to lead to him, like, committing her or
Yeah.
something.
But it's
No,
like
he gets it.
She wanted like I guess, different support to what he thought was acceptable to give. And, like, he does
She
move
seemed
house.
insane.
Yeah, like, he moves house for her, but then she's like, we need actual help for our son. We need to, like, see this psychic. And he's like, I am helping. I believe you. I moved house.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess for him, it's like, look, I don't think I believe her about the ghost, but hey, if we move house, it'll stop.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, haunted house, no more house.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I guess it was one of those things where until he goes into his son's room and he's all, like, stubborn and, like, in denial, and he's like, no, you're definitely here. Like, you're here. And then he sees the pictures, which no one thought to look at.
I know.
You know, even moving house, putting the pictures back up on the wall, no one went, demon face.
You know what I would have thought? Like,
no, you'd think it's a kid's drawing.
no.
It's a fucking
Would
horse.
you not have thought that's where the psychic lady got the ideas from? The pictures that were already on the wall
Yeah, she
from
may have went
before
upstairs.
he was unconscious?
She may have went upstairs and fucking took a peek.
Like, you see them on
That's
the
a good
wall, you're like,
medium.
that's where she drew them from. Now I get it.
Do you know what his name is? Like, you know how monsters in movies have, like, a nickname or whatever? His name is Lipstick Face.
No.
Yeah, because they use lipstick to do the red.
Really?
Yeah. I was thinking his name was going to be like a, scary demon. Nah, his name is fucking Lipstick Face.
Mm.
And I'm like, cool.
So if a creepy, like, homeless guy with lipstick, bright red lipstick came at you, like, you'd be pretty scared.
Like, came at me or, like, attacked me?
Both.
Both. At
Ooh.
the same time.
Yeah, I'd be not happy with that.
Came on you.
Scary and impressive.
He's using both hands to attack you, and he's still hands-free coming on you.
Like, that's a skill. I'll give him money.
Anyway, like,
Go. But I forgot. I have a page of interesting facts about the movie.
I'd like to hear some
excited.
interesting facts.
Okay.
Something interesting about this movie, at least.
All right, we're gonna have a fight after. But okay, so the demon in this is also the music composer for this movie, and he also is in The Conjuring, Annabelle, and The Conjuring 2.
I did like the creepy music. It was very
Creepy.
tropey, like, but in a good way.
Like someone, like
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
It was one guy in like a room with all the orchestra's gear, but no one else was in there. It was just him. So he's just hitting things. Did you not hear the piano was literally someone like bum
I can't even imitate
and
it.
just attacking a violin with a stick.
Yeah, like they
It was
would do
really
that music.
unsettling sound of like just someone who doesn't know how to play an instrument.
What about the one where it's like, and I can't do it justice. And like it fades in and out really
Yeah.
loudly. Like it's really a creepy
Yeah,
sound.
yeah,
I wish
yeah.
I could get it and play it so everyone could hear what I'm actually talking about. But I love that noise. That's like super creepy and unnerving. And I suppose if I'd watched this when I was young, like it would have felt creepy to me.
Yeah.
And they did a couple of creepy jump scares that I didn't mind with the like just like appearing behind
Oh,
people
yeah.
and stuff like that.
The appearing behind the guy fucked me up when I first saw it.
The mum
Because
when she sees it and it's just
that scene is so natural telling a story. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm invested in this story. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
right there.
oh yeah, and the fact like I give them credit. I like that these things appear in the broad daylight
Right.
with people
Ah,
around.
yeah.
Doesn't matter how many people around, they're there.
I do
Um,
think like when she's drawing him in the dark, like when her assistant's
Ah.
drawing him,
Yeah.
and everyone's kind of just staring at this like dark
Notice
space.
how
in
the
room.
scenery changes and just gets dark all
yeah,
of a sudden.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool because then it's like, oh, are they going to see anything when the light goes on? And of course they don't, but it's just, I don't know. There were a lot of nice, like, atmospheric kind of scenes. I think a lot of it was clever.
It just reminded me too much of Poltergeist.
It's
I would have just
Poltergeist
noped the
inspired.
fuck out of there
It is.
and left.
Yeah.
Leave. And all right, they did leave
Well, they did
eventually.
leave.
After
Unlike
their son was
Poltergeist.
unconscious.
Unlike Poltergeist, they fucking stayed in the house.
And they didn't call the police. They're like, should we try the university? Anyway, do you know how long it took to film?
What is it, like a few
15,
months?
20 minutes.
3 weeks.
Oh,
Oh, Wayne's World.
that
took
is
3
like
weeks.
that is the 15, 20 minutes of the movie universe.
So they said that it was inspired by Poltergeist.
Of course it was. It felt like I was watching Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same story. It's like goes through the relationship of the two people. Kid has weird shit happen.
Yeah.
They call a paranormal team in.
To
It's
be
like
fair, that's most horror
then
movies.
you've got like the astral projecting, which was kind of like going into the alternate world, like where they go through the portal and stuff like that, it's parallel so many things. It's insane.
It's
Yeah,
like
but that's
they-
also most haunted movies. Are you watching stuff? I feel like you can hear that. You fuck.
It's just watching porn.
They had a budget of 1.5 million, and they made over 97 million.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And
that's successful.
And James Wan then started his like horror career properly. And the reason that the little jigsaw guy is on the whiteboard, the blackboard, is because he produced that as well, or wrote that, or whatever. But there was something fun. Where is it?
Yeah, my like new favorite movie writer.
Lee Wanell.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my favorite fact about the movie? Like, you'll be excited, but no one else will give a fuck.
What?
Lee Wanell wrote Insidious and Saw and a bunch of really good horror movies, right? And he also wrote Upgrade and
The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man. Like, he wrote a bunch of wicked shit.
Which one?
He's so good. The new one.
Yeah, the original.
And,
He's old.
No, but Lee Wanell is in Insidious.
Yeah, he's the.
He's Specs. I
yeah.
did not know that. When I read that, I looked at his picture and I was like, wait a fucking second. Because he likes to put himself in the movies. Like, he was in Saw.
Yeah, he's the guy in Saw. The first guy cuts off his foot. That's him.
Like, he likes to be in a lot of his movies. And I'm like, that's cool. If I was a, like, famous movie person, I'd be in
I'd
all
do
my
that as
fucking
well.
movies too.
Like, if I came into this knowing they try to make it a spiritual remake of the Poltergeist.
Well, it's not a spiritual remake.
Well, that's
because
what it feels like. It's not
every-
just inspired, like they actually took
Take
the
10,
whole concept.
10 haunted house movies, and they will all probably do very similar things.
This is so similar.
Actually, wait, I can't because it's not really haunted. Well, wait, Poltergeist is the land, hey? So this was the boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Poltergeist is the
basically.
Yeah.
land, but then they
But
go-
like,
It was
yeah,
slightly
if you take,
different.
If you take a haunted person or a haunted house, you're basically going to get shot for shot. How does the family handle this? They're not coping. Bring in a psychic. It's literally how they're all
They had
done.
the paranormal investigator team too.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's like it's always
I do-
shot for shot, like following Poltergeist.
I think, though, when you look at the series as a whole, like, it does go back and explain how the team came together, why they work with her, where she started, like... So I guess if you look at this movie as a standalone, it's kind of like, wow, this is really fucking similar to the Poltergeist. But then when you go further into it, it's kind of like, oh, okay, it's got a completely different origin and a different lore and everything. But I think
They only wrote that after the first one.
I think they took the Poltergeist and were like, love this movie. We want to create a similar atmosphere where you feel for the family, you feel for the kid. Everything's a bit spooky but believable. And they were just like, let's do the Poltergeist but modern and better.
I did not feel for that kid at all.
Yeah, no, Dalton was annoying.
Like,
Dalton.
he was
His name
annoying.
was-
His
shit.
name's stupid.
So annoying.
And like when she breaks that ladder and then just puts it back together, I'm like, really?
No
so
one's
the next
going up
person
there.
Can step on the ladder? That's dangerous.
That's something I would
Roseanne.
do. I'd just feel like, no one's coming up here.
He's saying that. Okay, so Jason Blum, who we know,
Yeah, we do.
don't know who
Sinister and Insidious are in a shared universe,
What?
and there are Easter eggs that connect them. And the eventual goal is to create like a Marvel kind of type thing, where
Isn't that
all
what The
of them
Conjuring is?
mix in.
It's a Conjuring.
Kind of, yeah.
What's Sinister?
So
The
Sinister.
scariest movie ever.
Sinister won an award for the scariest movie ever.
Find it
I
hard to
don't
believe.
know if you've
but
seen it. It's Ethan Hawke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke was supposed to be the dad in Insidious.
Who's Ethan Hawke?
Oh, really?
You don't know Ethan Hawke?
I don't know any names.
Oh, that's fair. Was he?
Oh, do you know The
Hulk?
Purge?
Oh.
I know of The Purge.
Oh, well, he's the dad in it. That's the closest thing I can think of that someone would know.
Oh yeah, okay.
Nothing modern I will remember people's faces or names.
Ethan Hawke. Sorry, I'm just looking him up.
Was
Nah,
he
the reason Sinister got that
Oh, no,
award
I
because
don't think
they
he was.
tried like
He's in
I don't know,
Training
hundreds
Day.
of people, and they got them to watch horror movies, and Sinister had the highest heart rate of any of them.
Really?
It's very well done.
Must have good music as well then.
Yeah, it
and a good
does.
score.
Sinister,
Ethan Hawke.
does it?
I reckon it does. Let's watch it after.
I do
Yeah,
wanna
he's
watch it
usually
again.
a corrupt cop and things. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
yeah,
about right.
Yeah.
that's what I feel.
Oh wait, is he in Training Day? Is
He's
that
in
him?
Training Day.
Ah, fucking Training Day's great.
Martin did
That's all
say
I know him
that.
from then.
So
Bad.
Training Day's
I
a
was
10 out
just
of
saying
10.
you said that. They're just bad listeners. 33 violins are used to make the title.
Jesus. Yeah.
That should be our intro. Just all of us making violent
And I don't mean at the same
noises.
time. They meant they went through 33 violins.
So when Warnell was writing the story for Insidious, he took all the old horror movie cliches and made an effort to avoid them. One
No,
of
he
the
didn't.
most notable is the haunted house trope. He wanted to make sure that when the family moved into a freshly built home that had not been lived in by anyone else, the home itself couldn't be blamed for the hauntings anymore.
That's exactly like Poltergeist. It was a freshly built home.
Built
Yeah,
on top of
eventually.
graves.
Yeah, that's the problem. Fucking grave houses. Anyway, I just thought that they made a lot of money.
They made good money return on their investment.
So,
Horrors usually do.
in terms of like, I guess you mentioned a couple of jump scares. Do you find the story like creepy? Did you find there were any suspenseful parts?
The story itself, like, didn't do much for me. But had I gone in knowing that they were taking inspiration from the Poltergeist,
It would have annoyed you less.
it would have annoyed me less. It felt like it was literally just a rip-off of the Poltergeist
Okay.
at that point.
Yeah.
With no understanding that they meant like that influence kind of thing. It seemed like they were just cheating. But having said that, I didn't mind the score. That was great.
What about the
did a good job.
the score, but the music, the tiptoe through the tulips?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that just felt, I don't know, overused for creepiness. It's just a creepy song in general.
Yeah, but you haven't heard that used in any other movie.
I swear I have.
Probably this movie.
I doubt it.
that you watched not
It's
that
only
long
10
ago.
years ago. I swear that I've heard this for other creepy... Unless I just always felt like it was a creepy song.
Did
It is
you
a
watch
fucking
it?
weird song.
Did you watch it today before you came?
I watched it... I think I messaged when I watched it.
Thursday.
Because one thing I will say is that there are a lot of horror movies where you kind of have to watch it all in one go, no distractions, to stay in the
I did watch it all.
zone. And you should watch it at night. Did you watch it at night?
Well, no, like... I had to watch it before I was coming here, and I didn't realize I wasn't coming here until after I'd watched it.
Because, like, I do think that there are little things you can do to make it a more immersive experience. But obviously, like, when we're on a time crunch, it's kind of like, okay, got to be in podcast in half an hour, time to watch a movie.
But
Watching it while
horror-
I'm driving here.
horror is also more than any other movie comes down to the mindset.
Yeah, no, for sure. But, like, there's been a bunch of horror movies that we have tried to watch, and then if we get interrupted, like, someone knocks on the door or there's a phone
It
call,
can
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
you
break.
come back to it, and it breaks you out of it.
Yeah,
it does.
yeah.
True.
Definitely.
But I think, like, I didn't know that it was going to be a rip-off of the Poltergeist. Like, I didn't go in thinking this is just a rip-off of the Poltergeist. I was just watching it, and then there was just so many things. I'm basically just watching the Poltergeist.
Yeah.
So if we didn't watch The Poltergeist recently,
I might not have remembered. No,
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
not have put that, like, two and two together.
Did you watch The Poltergeist a lot when you were growing up?
We watched it a lot. Like, we had it on VHS, not recorded from TV. Like, as in
Okay.
like an actual copy of the Poltergeist.
Because I maybe saw The Poltergeist maybe 2 or 3 times my whole life until
Yeah.
we watched it recently. And I think I would never have associated them. But I guess because you watched it over and over and then we watched it again recently,
Yeah.
it would have really cemented
after
it
watching
in your
it,
mind.
The Poltergeist recently and watching this, I noticed the Poltergeist
Yeah,
as
see,
well.
I didn't. But I think that is a lot to do with, like, I guess what I watched growing up. I
But-
just took Insidious as like, ooh, cool.
But like when you watch a lot of the same genre, to me, they all do overlap each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
So
Fuck yeah.
I never be like, this is.
It wasn't
basically
just, but it wasn't just one or two things. It wouldn't have been like, oh, that's kind of like the Poltergeist. It was so many things. Like, and I think it cemented it when the paranormal team walked in. I'm like, just watching the fucking Poltergeist.
See, but that's the thing is, when I watch a movie, if it does something, I like the paranormal
most
team.
people don't move to like get a paranormal team in
But I
here with all
mean-
their gadgets and shit.
But at
Who's
least
doing
they had
that?
more backstory than we went to college to find a team instead of the police.
Yeah, exactly.
At
I
least
get
they had the
that.
backstory to
All
explain
right.
why.
All right, I give you credit, and
And they didn't bring in the
I
medium.
took points off of them in Poltergeist for that. That it seemed weird, but
Yeah,
Hey.
that's true. Elise doesn't even get called in until the guys confirm that there's ghosts there.
Mm.
Yeah,
They didn't need to confirm it in Poltergeist. They could see it.
it's true. But they all went together. They didn't, like, they could have been scammed and they didn't even check. She was so small and so gullible.
Yeah, but the psychic lady didn't come in until after the first team
Yeah, I know.
in the first one too.
I don't remember.
In
Yeah, she
Poltergeist,
didn't.
it was
they
the
called her-
lady and two guys from the
Yeah.
university, and then the psychic lady comes in afterwards.
Because after they see the really full-on
Yeah.
stuff, she's like, I need someone else.
Yeah, and then they
my
go get
team
her.
are not coming back.
That's what I meant. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, okay.
paranormal team. It's like, oh no, this shit's real. Better get the psychic lady.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I'm just watching fucking, yeah, like, hey.
Look, you gave Poltergeist a pretty good score.
I
You should
did.
really be giving this a good score. It has violins.
Violins.
I said I like
Argue
the
with that
score.
logic.
I said I like the score, right? But there's like zero originality, while Poltergeist felt at least like original, at least for the movies I had
Yeah.
watched. So,
But
and
with
the effects of the Poltergeist were like top notch
yeah.
compared to $1 million budget now.
But
I'm
do you
pretty sure they
think-
spent more on Poltergeist back when they made that.
Wait, how much did this movie cost?
$1 million something.
1.5.
How much was Poltergeist?
I'll look it up.
Come on, Martin.
I wonder if Insidious now is less than what Poltergeist.
I think it was.
Poltergeist.
Just buying those real bodies.
No, was
Yeah.
Poltergeist? Was it 900 or was it more like 1.2?
I'm trying to find it now.
That's Steven Spielberg. He cost more than $1 million.
Was he on top then?
Sorry, I have to go to the
He's always on
the
top.
IMDb.
He ain't no bottom.
Do you know how many movies he did in the 80s?
Too
Like,
many.
if he wasn't considered on top, then I don't
Definitely
know who
not
is.
a bot.
No, here we go. Poltergeist had a budget of, estimated of 10 mil.
Yeah.
10.7
Jesus.
mil.
Yeah. It's a high budget movie.
They
They
show.
have to make a house to
They
repair.
literally bought a whole suburb and then fucked it up for the movie.
And they bought real people.
Yeah.
They did buy real people.
And I think the 10 mil covered the life insurance policies of all the people that died after being in Poltergeist.
Well, with Poltergeist, they made worldwide 77 million.
Wow, what a bunch of losers. Just saying.
Yeah, it's not Insidious.
Yeah. So I think you can argue that Insidious is superior.
Well, they didn't
just
lose
going
half
by
their
the
cast.
numbers.
They didn't lose
Yeah,
half that cast.
Not only is no one dead, they made a lot of money. So
There's no real bodies, though.
and there's violins.
I like that. Was it Supernatural brought that up too?
What?
About the Poltergeist using real bodies.
Oh yeah.
I just started watching the series again.
Oh, nice.
We're getting close to finishing. We're trying so hard not to get spoiled. I unfollowed every supernatural themed thing I like on any social media account, and I'm still getting the occasional spoiler where I'm like, fuck. Anyway, thanks internet.
All right,
Sorry that
so
I'm 4 years behind.
Other than the fact that it's a horror
Story-
movie.
Uninspired story.
Okay.
but-
Well, actually, it was inspired
Yeah,
Shut
it's
up.
Literally inspired.
by a great horror movie. Why would you not want to like?
It wasn't
take-
inspired, it was
Well-
taken.
All right, if we ignore the fact that it's very similar to Poltergeist, did you think the scares were unique?
I wouldn't say unique, but I would say that they were done well. I liked what they did in the jump scares, and it wasn't just like.
Like
it's
shutting
very
them
hard.
down,
It's hard to say one jump scare shit compared to another.
Yeah, yeah.
But these ones, they were brought in at times that you wouldn't have expected it. And I like that, like I said, during the day, I really like that because that kind of made it more scary. The idea that it doesn't matter if it's
Yeah,
daytime.
you're not even
It's
safe.
funny
Shit's still
Day.
gonna fucking
because
get you.
I feel like they did a lot. They did the subtle ones where you look around, you see when she's tidying up the house, the little boy's just standing in the corner,
Yeah.
and then he runs off when this music plays. Then they do the scare where she thinks he's somewhere
the
and then he's
cupboard.
not. So they like tackle a lot of.
I thought she was just
different
gonna swing
styles. I was
her
like, I was like
into
bust
it,
his shins.
and then hits the other son.
That would have been funny.
like
I would have liked that.
the one I like is the guy outside the window. Where
I
he's pacing
I
back
don't.
and forth.
I don't like that.
I like that
If
one
I
because
was,
it didn't look like
if
it.
you were her, would you not have gone back to the other window?
Going back to the other window.
Like she looks in the window, sees him, then goes to this window, and there's nothing there.
Wait, that's not the same scene.
Where she's looking through the window and he's like
Yeah, but she doesn't look away. The scene is him pacing back and forth.
pacing. Oh, maybe
Look,
that is a different scene.
No, when she walks into the baby room, he's standing behind it, the baby.
No, I'm thinking where someone was dancing.
Oh, the kid dancing.
Yeah, the kids.
That's the daylight
oh,
one.
yeah, and she goes to the next window and then he's gone.
She's outside,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
music's playing,
Yeah.
and then she goes to this window, and the music's quiet.
No, because she's
and
starting
they're
to
not.
make her way back to the inside of the house, so
Yeah.
she's like quickly looking in the windows.
Yeah, but it's unbelievable that you would chase ghosts to begin with. You'd just be like, I ain't gone back inside yet.
But I think at
Well,
that
she's
point,
kind of getting used to it. I
at
think.
that point, she's kind of like, "Are you fucking serious? I just moved house.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you?" And chasing it like, "I must be imagining it. It
Yeah.
can't be real. I've got to see it. Oh Christ, it's in the cupboard."
It's
No,
really,
the one that Kane's
no one's
talking-
doing that.
The one that Kane's talking about is when she wakes up and she sees the man that she's seen pacing back and forth in front of her window, and then he just is suddenly inside. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is like, fuck, it makes me jump every time, and I've seen it so many times, and I'm always like, when does he? So, it's good. Good
Yeah.
times. I think it's a lot
don't
of
mind
clever
it.
scares.
I don't mind those side, but the story left very little to be desired. The whole astral projecting thing was kind of weak. Didn't.
See, that's funny thing is I love all that. It makes sense of just like, what else could you?
No, the idea of it, I suppose.
Like,
I
you
don't
leave
mind
your
how they
body
did it.
empty,
I don't
and
mind how
then
they did it.
It makes sense for like, oh, this kid's left his body. Hey, it brings in all the ghosts now. They all want to get into it
Like, I get that. Like,
instead of just stealing kids and TVs.
what do you got against this? No, like, I get it, but it just seemed out of the blue first, and I don't know. They didn't tie it in enough. Like, it just.
Maybe that's why I think if you watch the second one, you.
I shouldn't have to
Yeah,
watch the
that's the
second
thing.
part of
You
a
shouldn't have to
movies.
I'm not
wait
saying you
years
should have
for
to
a
watch.
sequel.
You shouldn't have to watch it. I'm saying though, it's my favorite 2-part horror movie
Yeah.
ever.
It's
with
probably changed
Poltergeist,
how we feel about it.
These people aren't special. This shit's just happening to them. But this is just like, you've got to take a step out and also believe in astral projection before you can be, like, put yourself in their position. Like, if they didn't have this special power, like, you would be unaffected. It wouldn't hurt you if you moved into this house. Like, it's only affecting them because they have this ability.
Yeah,
So that
But-
I can't put myself in that position. I can't be scared that this could happen to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter how much I'm imagining it. Like, I'm not. I can't astral project, so I'm
well, you
safe.
don't know. It
I'm
may
safe.
have been taken away from you at a young age.
You're an idiot.
That's why you don't like your photo being taken.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Shut
god!
up! You
Aaron!
idiots.
Whoa.
Please.
I fucking knew it. I'm talking to your mum right now.
No, I don't want to see the pictures.
She pulls out this cupboard and it's you with your fucking long hair.
No.
The witch is like braiding it.
What the fuck?
Hey,
Anyway,
like I said, drugs.
Aaron's the poltergeist.
Martin, you've got to have some input on this besides it was
What
boring.
did you like, Martin?
Honestly, I didn't like it. It just bored me.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it because you're tired?
He likes Pet Cemetery, which is arguably one of the worst
No,
movies ever made.
I think I find a lot of modern
Modern horror,
horrors
yeah.
boring though. And I like my B grade movies.
Yeah.
This is pretty B grade. It's $1 million. No, that's
Budget-wise, it's true.
Hmm.
Like,
Considering, like, when I hear that the budget was 1.5 million, I'm like, of course his face is made of lipstick. Yes.
you know what I think? I think the budget was low, but like, they're like, oh wait, the guy who wrote Saw, I'd be in one of his films.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, they took him on knowing that he'd done Saw, and then from here, he got picked for like 5 horror franchises,
Yeah.
so it's pretty unreal. He does a good job.
I forgot the
Where-
guy that wrote it was actually from Melbourne.
when you're
Yeah.
when you're making a movie and you see that he made a scary movie like Insidious for $1.5 million, then you're kind of like, I want him to make my movie. What
Yeah.
if he can do that with 1.5
What can he
million?
do with
what
3?
can he do with this?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
like
gotta say, he did pretty well considering he didn't spend much money.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like they get points for that.
Yeah.
It cost fuck all.
Half of that budget was violins. Like, far out.
Just
Money
breaking
well
them.
spent. Not breaking them.
What's that famous brand of violin? Strata.
Nokia.
What?
I think you're thinking of
Strata.
guitars.
Strata.
Yamaha.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
what it's
isn't
called.
there like $1 million violin?
Like they're using those. That was why it was $1.5 million.
Violin.
It's not as funny if I can't remember the name.
Violin brand.
You could make.
Famous violin.
You could literally make one up, and we'd be like, "Oh my god, yeah, like we're refined."
I so could, but our only listener would know that I'm lying.
Stentor?
What?
Stentor? Stentor? So what?
It's not a word.
Yeah.
Look,
Wait,
that's it.
Martin, you love old horror. Is it kind of like, you know how people like 16-bit games? Like they like that old aesthetic look? Is that what it is really about horror? Makes you kind of feel more nostalgic to the back in that time?
You
of
like
it?
gritty horrors?
I just think it bored me because, yeah, it's like Aaron keeps saying. It was.
But I
too-
mean,
too
like
much
almost most of the modern horrors, you more lean towards just B grade or past, basically.
Yeah.
Past is usually B grade, but
but when I watch horrors now, it's more like older stuff or
Yeah.
B grade, like the modern B grade horrors because they just seem more
but
interesting.
like
The
if
stories are
one
more
was
fun.
done nearly shot for shot but better looking, you'd still lean towards the older one?
Out of the because I can say with the Poltergeist ones, I'd rather the old original Poltergeist movie out of the new one.
Yeah. Well,
Same
even I think the new one's was fucking garbage.
Same with it.
Yeah, you lean towards the older.
I
It.
like the old it.
Yeah.
But there's parts in the new one which I think are done better.
Yeah.
But the old story is slightly better to me. Same with the.
If they'd fleshed
Stand.
out the old one a little better, like they did this one.
Yeah. See, if the old one had a bit more story, it would be good.
Yeah.
It would be like really good.
They
but
if they didn't cut it down as much as they did.
yeah.
What's that old? You remember the guy from Jurassic Park, the
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill? He did a horror movie where he's in space.
Oh,
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. Did you like that?
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I kind of felt like like that
Event
gritty,
Horizon
that
is
gritty horror
Is a
feel.
mix between
It's
I
not
think high
scary,
budget
but-
and B though.
Yeah,
Like, it's weird.
Yeah, but it's like like they're very gritty. Those
Same-
horror movies.
But also,
Ghost Ship is a good one too.
horror
don't know if I
sci-fi
know that
is
one.
good.
horror sci-fi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
unless it's
you got like
Freddy in space. Oh, what was it? Oh no, Jason.
like
Jason
things.
Something.
It's weird to say, but they're more possible and believable in a weird way,
Yeah.
and you don't know where it's going.
Yeah, that's true.
When they do sci-fi horror and it's like they give a really jumbled explanation, they're like, scientifically, here's how this works, and we're all dumb fucks. So
You
we're like,
can't
oh my
know.
god, that sounds real. And now it's like this, like, yeah, he astral projected, and now there's ghosts in the house, and we're like, yeah, all right.
But like Event Horizon's like, oh, we're in space, anything can happen. Oh no, it's hell.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, let's go sci-fi and religion.
It's the same as Jurassic Park.
They just
Anything
open the
Sam
gates of
Neill's
hell
in.
in space.
Anything Sam Nielsen.
DC Strand. Sorry, violin.
Yeah, that's a violin thing that I'm thinking of.
The violin model, DZ's. That's the best brand you can get out there.
Yeah.
Model 301.
All right.
All
Well,
right. Well, let's
before we get to rating,
have
let's
the
just
boys ruin the
let's,
rating.
let's break it down. Acting.
Let's break
Is there
it
any
down.
problems can anyone see with the acting in it?
No.
No.
Acting was good.
Acting was fine. It was just, like I said, the only thing I found with the movie was slow, especially the start. And it was just,
It started off
couldn't- I just- it
with
just couldn't
literally horror scares. like
no.
it did. It leads like wasn't the kid in the attic? Wasn't that the start of it?
Stradivari.
Stradivari. That didn't come up in any of my
What's that?
searches.
It came up in the first search. I did old famous violins, 10 most valuable violins in the world. The Molitor Stradivari, the X Rius Stradivari, the Dolphin Stradivari. Like everyone, like the top 7 of the most valuable violins
Maybe
in
that's
the
the
world
brand I was
are
trying to...
Stradivari.
Maybe
But
that's the one I was
how
trying
many
to
of them were
pronounce
used in
first.
Insidious?
All of them. He went through all the 7 most valuable ones.
That's where half the budget went.
That's where all the budget went. Everyone else worked for free.
Well, I guess it was. What's her name? Rose Byrne.
Yeah. She's a good actress. I like
Stradivarius.
her. She's grown on me.
Stradivarius.
Yeah, she's in a few things.
You were thinking Stratocaster. That's the guitars.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the acting.
Acting was
Acting.
fine. Everything in the movie was actually fine for the movie. It's just, like I said, for me, it was just slow.
Okay, so like,
Boring.
Beyond the whole, like, you have to get past this part. The fact that they've got these paranormal investigators and it's just perfectly normal that these things exist in the world. Except for the father who initially doesn't believe it. everyone's just all on board that all supernatural shit's real. If you get past that, then the acting's okay.
But once you see it, you would believe it.
She's the only one that saw it.
Yeah, and the father was in disbelief until like.
And then he believed it from a picture that she could have derived her
She could have,
shit
but
from.
if he didn't know that, it still would make you believe.
Yeah, but when she
No.
went into his room, the lights were off.
Doesn't mean she didn't see it.
Was she a bat? Using a little bat vision?
Well, she was looking up into the light and saw it. Into the darkness and saw it.
Yeah, because she's psychic. She can't psychic pictures.
What about the fact that she used words to describe that picture that guy drew?
Yeah, that was impressive.
There's a black thing up in the thing. It's got.
I know, and
It's
it's
kinda-
like this. And he's just, he didn't draw anything with real detail. It was black scribbles with a red face.
It's a shadow, and then it's got some.
I
red
could
on it.
describe that to you in seconds.
Yeah.
But could you draw exactly that?
Yes.
Black, squiggly thing with red face.
Well, because she's probably saying it's directly above us. It's in that gap in the ceiling, so he draws the light.
No, because
walls.
she's like, he's like, slow down. She's giving direct things
Yeah.
to draw.
Yeah, it's like Pictionary.
But there was nothing of detail in the picture.
He's capturing their essence.
Slow down. Red face, black body. You're going too quick.
It's like hooves, tail, 14-inch.
He didn't draw any of that. He didn't draw any of that. I'd be impressed if he did.
he didn't, but she did say who's, didn't she?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did say 14
She
inch
says.
fetus.
Yeah. She says.
That was the
hooves.
bottom
She
part. He never got to the legs.
She says eyes like.
Slow
a
down. I'm
bottomless
still on the
pit.
first inch. Sorry, go.
Something. She didn't describe his gay little haircut though. God, I hate his hair.
That's
Isn't his
what
hair
makes-
the dumbest?
That's what makes him fucking creepy.
It's
dumb
like he
haircut.
wouldn't even be scary if he didn't have that weird hair. Like a fucking science teacher from the 80s.
All right, so like visuals, camera, sound, like
All
is there anything
fabulous.
other than you just don't like the story? Which
I just felt like it was uninspired. I did feel like it was the son that was going to be the one that was possessed at the end. And then they backflipped and made it the husband.
I think that's because potentially they already had the franchises lined up. Like the franchise lined up. Because they explore the husband story in the next one, I think. Or the one
Okay.
after that.
no, the second one.
Yeah, so... Yeah, for everyone else, it's like, oh, the dad's possessed. Whereas they're like, haha, now the dad's origin story. So, like, yeah. If you haven't seen them, which most people seeing this for the first time obviously would never have
Also,
gone on to watch the rest.
I like happy endings. That lead. That lead to like more sinister implied endings.
It was a happy ending.
That was
They
the
got
happy
Dalton
ending.
back. They lost an old
She
woman.
strangled the old lady to death, and now the mum has to fucking deal with the police and explaining that her husband is a psycho. But no, he's possessed because he astral projects.
Yeah.
No, her whole life is fucked.
Oh, you think the people from the
The
podcast
kid,
wasn't?
the
They
kid
live in a
is
motel
going to
now.
grow up with astral projecting in fear and knowing his dad is a psycho.
Just watch the
As
second
far
one.
no, because you don't know the second movie when you watch the first movie.
Yeah,
I
no.
have to judge it by what they gave me.
I will say, I
They
don't like
gave
the
me
ending.
crap.
I don't like the ending where it's just her turning around and going,
Nah, because
Like,
it's one of those
that's
horror
dumb.
endings. Like, you're fucked. Like most horror movies.
yeah, that didn't.
Should have
Like
just
if you watch,
implied.
that's like someone watching the first It and being like, "What the fuck happens in 23 years?
It should have just implied.
What happens?"
Shouldn't
It's
have
like,
killed her.
Wait.
It should have implied like how she was like taking his picture.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? And then she should have interrupted him. Like the wife came in and interrupted that interaction.
And,
And then it finished on a weird note, like, you're like, oh shit, is something wrong with him? And you don't know. And then number 2 comes out, then it fleshes everything out.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Like,
Nah, I think
no
killing
one
the bitch-
died in the first movie. It was a happy ending, but still, you don't know what's coming.
Yeah. Look,
That's
no
how
one
you
expect-
do it.
No one
You don't
expected.
end on a strangulation. and then you don't know. Like, for all you know,
Yeah.
she's gonna kill, or she is gonna kill the rest of the family,
I do think,
and nothing mattered.
if
Yeah.
anything, they could have done like, oh, thank you. Can we take a family photo for our book? Like we keep a book
And you
of
see
clients.
the
No, she takes the
old
photo,
lady.
she leaves, and then they're driving away in the car, and she's looking at the photo, and she's like, wait a minute.
yeah.
And then,
That's a
that
cool
would've been
ending.
Cool.
Would it?
Lee
Yes.
Warnell, did you hear that? I've got ideas.
But as
No
far
one
as I'm
expected the
concerned,
ending on a fucking strangle.
his whole life meant nothing. That old lady, the paranormal old lady,
Oh, Elise.
saved the kid for no reason at all. He now grew up to still be inhabited by that fucking old lady, like
yeah.
in the astral projection world. And in fact, it's worse now because he got to marry his wife, and now his wife is gonna be distraught that her husband's a maniac killer, and she's left with 2 sons. It's terrible.
You should,
Worse, he could have just died when he was a kid, and nothing would have mattered.
You should watch the
Event
series.
Horizon literally ends with hell. That's not happy.
Keep going.
No, I think if you watched the whole series, it would answer questions. and
Maybe
you
it
might
would.
like them.
I
Like it
am
can't
judging
affect your
this
Yeah,
movie.
it can't affect your rating for this, but like as a fun thing to do when you're meant to be at work, I think you should watch the sequel.
Well, you're supposed to
Wha-
be at work.
like, if they had already planned sequels when they were making this movie, that affected the way they wrote this
Yeah,
movie.
I know what you
And
mean.
that shouldn't that shouldn't be the case. A movie should be standalone unless you know
What
it's
about
coming out as a trilogy
part-
like The Lord of the
yeah.
Rings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, when this movie was released,
not
people didn't know
marketed-
there was coming, like, more was coming.
Yeah, if it doesn't get
So
marketed
if
as
the
a
guy
series,
says we were doing another, then
When, like,
it would
before
have
the
to
movie's
say it
released.
at the end of the movie.
To
Oh,
be
yeah.
continued.
it has to say to be continued.
Yeah,
Or you just know that it's going to be part
it's
of an
been
ongoing
advertised
series.
as like a 3-part.
Yeah.
Blah blah. You know, blah blah.
Part 1 of 58.
I'd watch it. I love the universe.
Like, was it so much that at the very least the wife comes in, stops her from being strangled, and he flees? Like, even that's better. That makes you feel like it wasn't all for nothing.
But every horror is for nothing. They
No,
all
it's
lose
not.
in the end. Freddy kills everybody.
Poltergeist did a good horror, and it wasn't all for nothing.
They all
Well-
died in real life. It's worse. It's so much worse.
And alright, there are multiple poltergeists after, and like, but from the first movie's perspective, they had this experience, and they got away. It's still scary. It doesn't detract from how scary it was that they got away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This felt like it was for. We watched all this for no reason.
Yeah, but you just said
Everyone's
Event
fucked.
Horizon was a great movie. It ends with hell.
And hell is great.
Yeah, but you don't get away from hell.
Name another good horror
And
movie.
it was only one guy that was like,
You love Freddy. He keeps coming back and kills everybody.
this wasn't a kill everyone movie.
What do you mean it's not? No, not everyone
No,
died.
no,
One
but
person died.
It does kind of give you this feeling of like you're rooting for the family the whole time. You want them to succeed. Oh, thank God they all survived. Oh, and he's killed the psychic.
Yeah.
And now their lives are fucked. Like, how do you
How did-
recover from that?
How did the old lady get into his body, but the demon didn't? He's
The
like, got the kid back into the house in the astral
the
world.
demon was going for the kid.
Right. He got the kid back, and he's just like, go.
He
Like,
was heaps tired. He carried that kid a
Yeah.
long way.
it doesn't, you're just like, you're already there at the end goal.
He's
and
a
he's like,
teacher, he's
just,
not
you
fit."
go on without me.
If I had to
Ah.
carry a kid through the further, I would be tired too.
I can't carry a
I
coffee.
can't carry myself.
Oh, why didn't they just do what they did in fucking Poltergeist and tie a rope?
An Astro Road?
Yeah. I don't know.
They did. It's called
Oh
Listen to My
God.
Voice.
Wait, remember when like he's fighting that guy and struggling, and his wife's like patting his leg, and she's like, "Elise, do something!" And after 5 minutes of watching him struggle, she's like, "Remember, you're alive. You can defeat them." And he just easily pushes it away.
I know.
It's like, Elise, you watched him struggle. I like you.
She's still learning.
No, she's not. She's been
She
doing
is.
it for years.
So what's everyone's critical?
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
Wow.
It's the violins.
It's tough because the jump scares are good.
Thank you.
Come on. The What is it? I don't like what, was it Dalton walks around at night?
Yeah.
That is like, oh, fucking hell, kid, get out of that room.
I honestly don't know why they lived there. I would have been like noping the fuck out of that house
Once,
so early on.
once the front door opened and the alarm kept going off, I would have been like,
Look at
well,
the
I'm
alarm.
sleeping on the lawn.
The alarm.
The door unlatched itself.
Oh yeah, that's too much. But just the alarm going off is just like, eh.
No,
do you
alarms
mean
go
by-
off.
Seeing any spirits? No.
Seeing
No,
the
thank
front
you.
door open up's nothing to me because the kids don't shut our door half the
But
time.
it was
But
unlatched.
and one of
everyone
them's
was
unconscious. One's a baby. One's in a different universe.
Imagine you're Martin in this movie, and it's like all your kids are upstairs asleep. You've got a literal baby, and Martin's like, "I'm gonna assume it was the baby." It just relocks the door.
But I mean, it's like our door. We'll shut our door. The kids will shut the door and
Yeah.
lock it, but they don't actually push it shut
Oh,
properly,
so it
so it
just
doesn't
opens,
actually
yeah.
doesn't latch. So
Oh, look, the door opening been fine.
A
The
le-
little fucking latch thing
a
on it
later
coming
just
off.
and
opens up.
swinging.
That's the part where like that was aggressively opened.
yeah, I don't have a latch, so
I think the scariest part of the whole movie is definitely when her books are off the shelf.
No, that's
When
the
I
most
see-
frustrating part.
When I see books on the floor, my soul goes cold.
so what's your critical, Aaron?
It's like it's hard for me because the story didn't feel great, but the scares were good. The score was good, which is important in a scary movie.
It's only
So-
losing points for the story, which is
Which-
It's no
arguably-
4.5,
which is
fucking
arguably
basically
like Poltergeist, which you liked.
Yeah.
So
I didn't mind the story in Poltergeist though.
then you shouldn't mind the story.
You have to
But
pretend
that's
that you
it's
haven't
original
seen
in Poltergeist.
Well, it's probably not. We can.
As far as I know,
That's it. We're just going about as far as you know.
we can only ever go with what you know.
Well, you already know.
I
that
can't
this
go
was
with what
inspired.
everyone else in the world knows.
Look, the house wasn't
It's
haunted.
my
It's
review, not the
different.
world's review.
It's different.
What do you want from me?
The kid was haunted, not the house, so that's different.
I'm
You didn't
tossing
see
up
lights
between a
flying down the
3.5 and 4.
staircase.
I think it's a 4. Like, even if you think it's slow
So-
and you don't like the
yeah.
story, I think it's a
Well, that's
4
the only
for
thing.
everything else.
Everything else in the movie was perfectly fine. It's just
Yeah.
that, to me it was slow and the story was just boring.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's because.
And you said there was a lot of character development, but there wasn't. There was a lot of
No, I don't.
like explaining the environment
Yeah, I wouldn't call it character development so much as like
because there was zero.
revealing their character more. Like the way that
barely
they
did that.
handle stress and stuff.
Like I don't know them any better.
Don't you?
No, actually I know that she will live in a house that's fucking like terribly infested with spirits and poltergeists.
They
and
moved.
whatever.
I just,
Most
Still
people
took
don't
a long time to
move.
move.
I
It took
just-
their son being unconscious to move.
I love that, like, when they're coming out of the cupboard, they can just push the cupboard closed and the ghost's like, trying to open the cupboard. And then at other times, they're just, like, coming out of walls and shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, so can the door
It's
stop
inconsistency.
It
them?
was just the one guy who could go through walls.
What's the deal with his face? He tried
Yeah.
to lick her. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You keep distracting him. What's your critical?
Ah.
That's it. Mine's between 3.5 and 4.
Yeah, 3.5. 3.75 is probably where I'd be at. 3.5.
For you then.
So the story's worth
I'm
a
going
point and a
4.
half. Interesting.
Story's a big point when it's a story you're being told.
Actually, no.
That's any movie.
It's not, here's an experience, Kane. No. It's, watch this story.
What would you say about what's the
We
Jason-
decimated, what's it called? Valerian because of the story.
No, I thought the acting was atrocious.
No, it's a story you guys.
We decimated the story. Go back
But I
and listen
mean,
to it.
yeah, but everything in that other than the looks was atrocious.
We argued that the story was shit, but so was the acting, and so there was no redeeming quality for it other than
Well,
it
the
was
acting
pretty.
wasn't
It was only-
especially great
No, it
in
was
this.
bad.
It was
No,
only
no,
made-
in this
in-
it's good.
Yeah, this
I was
is
gonna say, I
good.
thought
I don't
only
think it
one
was
person
especially
I'd
good.
say it's. I
From
think
Valerian.
they looked
Mm.
like
Like,
their characters, their people. Like they looked like how they acted. She acted distort. She looked like a real person being distort.
Distort?
I don't know.
In distort. What? Distraught?
Distraught.
Most
yeah.
real
She's
people
in
would have been like,
distraught.
I'm taking my kids, I'm leaving. And if it was like multiple times she moved and it was still happening, all right.
Then you leave
Then
behind the
you-
child.
Maybe
I would.
Then
But
you'd
I'm pretty
criticize
sure I
every
would've put
horror where they
her-
stay in the house.
in an insane asylum.
I want to live in an insane asylum.
It's 3.75, but you won't let me have that, so 3.5.
All right. So what's your personals?
Probably 4.5.
Yeah, I'd probably go 4.5.
I like this movie, and it doesn't matter how many times I watch it, I still get scared. Like, not scared, but like that uncomfortable horror movie feeling.
It's probably one of my top 10 favorite horrors.
Yeah, definitely.
It's getting a
Are you kidding
2.5
me?
for personal.
Yeah, I'm at a 3. Like, it's slightly better than average because of the score, because of the jump scares, the way they did it, because of how little money they did it with.
But like for me,
I wasn't impressed by the acting. They did nothing for me. And the story left a lot to be desired, and I hated the ending. So
Yeah. Your score's fair then, like, considering the issues you have with it.
Like, it's one of the movies where when you watch the second one, you can come back and watch the first one and notice stuff.
And like if
I don't like
if
those
we
type
were
of
reviewing
movies.
it
I
as
love
as a series, then all right, it might do better. But I'm reviewing it as a single movie.
Well, then I'd say the first time I watched it, I still love this movie. I can't think of a horror.
You can't separate yourself from the series though.
Yeah, but I can't think of a horror off the top of my head that I like more.
All right. So
Yeah, but I can't think of... If anyone asked me what my favorite horror is, I'd probably never be able to answer. Maybe Nightmare on Elm Street, but that's as a series. No particular one movie.
that's a very different type of horror, though.
It is. And no one particular movie is... like, has everything. It's like elements from throughout the entire series that I really like.
So if we crowdfund for $1.5 million, we could put all the good things from all the movies we like all together.
It'd be
That'd
so
be
shit.
So
It'd be
shit.
so bad. It'd be so great.
So where do you want this?
Ooh, what are the options? I'd like it as number 3. But
Below Bad Boy Bubby, if possible.
All right. So
Is that an option?
It's not.
but
From one
it's-
of our scores, it beats Bad Boy Puppy.
It's below. It's tied with Terminator 2, Groundhog Day, Halloween, the 2018 one, Christine.
It's
It's
appalling that it's tied with Terminator 2, which is like a crowning achievement of action sci-fi of its time.
You also pulled apart that story.
yeah, you hated that.
I never said I hated it. My rating was decent
No,
on
but you said it
Terminator
had
2.
plot holes.
But
Yeah.
Terminator
It did
2,
have
You gave it
plot
an
holes,
8.
but it had a good story.
Yeah.
You gave Terminator 2 an 8.
Yeah.
You
So
gave this a
torn.
6.5.
I think it goes above everything, but I'm torn on the
No,
Terminator.
if you're gonna go by your scores, by everyone's scores, it's pretty much below Terminator, above Groundhog Day. Because Aaron gave Terminator an 8, Groundhog Day an 8.5. So for Aaron, this would go
Yeah,
below.
I'm like, I don't know why
yeah.
it's even
This would go
in the
below
same realm.
Halloween.
I guess it's like
I'm
Use-
not
use-
putting it above Terminator. No.
Use all rate horror movies way too high.
I don't.
No,
Not this
because
one.
you rate them too low.
No, I don't.
But you do.
for
What
me,
is there any horror movies I've rated higher than 6.5
Higher than 6.5.
as a horror movie?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. 4, you gave that a 7. Oh no, you gave that an 8.
An 8.
What was that?
Halloween
Nightmare
you
on
gave
Elm
a
Street.
7.
Oh.
Yeah, Halloween you gave a 7.
And I think I was a little biased rating that partially as a series. It's
Poltergeist.
hard to separate yourself from it.
yeah.
Yeah, Poltergeist you gave an 8, and Bride of Chucky you gave a 7.
That was because of the comedy. It's purely
Wait.
the
God,
comedy
what
that
was
saved
it I
Freddy
said
that.
the
vs
other
Jason you
day?
gave a 7.5.
Yeah, comedy again.
Remember the
And they're good
horror
scores.
horror comedy or whatever.
Horror comedy?
Yeah.
And they're high scores.
Yeah,
I
Well,
don't
yeah,
I
it was-
don't give 9 and 9.5s away willy nilly.
Yeah, you don't
I've only
have to.
given 1 or 2 movies a 9 or a 9.5.
You gave Mad Max a 9.
Yeah, I gave Mad Max a 9. I'm
Matrix 9.5.
fair with my scores.
You can think things are great. It doesn't matter if you think things are great.
That's it.
Kind of does.
It
No,
does.
it doesn't. You can really love
You can't just
things.
be like everything's 9.
If you enjoyed it, you can.
Well, it means the scale means nothing then.
No, it doesn't.
I use the scale. I try to use it fairly. We don't watch enough below 5s. I think we should watch some more like bad
We've
movies.
got a lot of below 5s there.
Do we though? Do we have a lot of below 5s? Total score?
Total score.
I think it's good because for me, Insidious and Terminator
4.
are probably top of their genre, like an action and a horror. I'm like happy that they're a draw, and I don't mind it being just under Terminator, but it also makes me slightly sad.
But see, I'm still trying to think if, like, I love Insidious, but I don't know.
I feel like nostalgia.
Did you say the next one was Groundhog Day?
So the way it is right now, it's Terminator 2, Groundhog Day, Halloween, and Christine. We're gonna work.
So
out where
I
Insidious
put it
goes in
above Christine and Halloween.
I think
Put
it's
it
above
above Groundhog
Christine
Day.
and
You
definitely
put it
above
above-
Halloween.
You put it above Groundhog Day?
Groundhog Day is fine. Like it's funny. It's like cool to notice all the little
Groundhog Day is
jokes.
nearly timeless, which is
But-
funny because it's a time loop movie.
By,
but-
by scores, Aaron would have it tied with Christine. Tied with Christine.
Mm.
Kane, you have it above Groundhog Day. Same with Melissa.
Yeah,
And I have it tied with Groundhog Day.
it's definitely above Groundhog Day and
it's-
below Terminator.
But it's weird. You've got Halloween. Like if you go by scores, Melissa, you've got Halloween above all of them.
Really? Above
Yeah.
Terminator?
Yeah, you loved Halloween.
You gave Halloween a
Fascinating.
9, but Terminator.
Halloween
8
was a
five.
decent remake, though.
No,
Yeah,
as
no, it
a
was really well
a
done.
remake sequel, it's
Yeah.
good.
And see, the problem is that that's a story that they've refined over the years,
Over 70 movies.
and then done the remake. So they've taken the best aspects of that story, and so it's polished.
They did essentially like a true sequel in the sense of like they learnt from so much
Yeah,
and were able to do number 2 better than number 1 in a
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
which is what every sequel should be.
I just love that they're like, pretend none of the sequels ever came out. Here's the second Halloween movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, excuse me, I own 15
Yeah,
of
and
your
then
movies.
Terminator tried to do that, and it was like, I like those sequels.
Alright, are we up to
I'm
Aaron
gone.
giving us his pick?
No, we're still trying to work out where.
fuck! I forgot I got to do that. I
Oh, no,
had it in mind.
I think we're all in agreement that it's just under Terminator,
I'll
but
go
above
just.
everything else.
I'll go just on the Terminator.
Yeah.
Alright.
I do love my groundhog, but
Is that what you're calling him this week?
yes, little groundhog.
Is it
How
gonna
much
be a
winter?
long winter?
How much winter's there gonna be, boy?
Does it have to be
It's real
a
little, it's
scary,
cold.
like it's scary, but does it have to be one that scared me? Because I don't have a lot that's like truly scary.
It has to be something that, like, I can't remember if we've already reviewed it, but like The Grudge or something, you know, where
Something
you,
that at least got to you in some kind of way, had some kind of impact.
The Grudge, the original Japanese Grudge,
Yeah, the original
That's
one was
hard to find.
horrifying.
that was horrifying to me
Made
because
sleeping-
it was it was a new style of scare,
yeah, we
Yeah.
got a new taste of horror.
So-
which at the time, at the time was new. I
Isn't
should
it?
say.
Like similar to The Ring.
The Ring was a new style of scare.
So they only just started, I think, coming over those horrors. So
Yeah.
there was
the
like
Japanese
the Grudge,
style of horror.
The Grudge, The Ring, Dark Waters. There was like a couple of others, and then they got made. The Ring was one of the first ones to get made into a Hollywood movie, and then The Grudge eventually got made into a Hollywood movie.
All right, well, let's go the Japanese version of The Grudge.
Japanese Grudge, Ju-on, is it?
Ju-on.
Does
yeah.
anyone know where to find it?
I have it on DVD.
everyone hop on the couch. We're watching it now.
It just got a Netflix series, so it may be released in
Yeah,
places
that's
now.
what I'm thinking. The Netflix series wasn't terrible, but it
Oh, the
wasn't good.
remake.
Madman. Is there like a Madman streaming service?
If any of that stuff would most likely be on like Funimation or something.
Madman released it, didn't they? That'd be
yeah, I think
the
they-
DVD was from Madman
Yeah, I think
back
so.
when DVDs were huge.
Alright, so original Grudgy Wudgy.
Japanese Grudgy.
Great.
And we have to watch it without subtitles, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, is this, you saying this is a Japanese movie with no English dub?
You could probably find one on YouTube.
Might be an English dub.
I was joking. Is it not in English? Oh, of course it's Japanese.
No.
No, but it seems so clever. Alright. I guess I'll read.
You have no problem reading.
I think I might
I don't mind if you crucify it because it's not in English. I don't give a shit what you score it. I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Have we watched it, or did we watch the American ones?
I've watched the American one. I've
We-
never seen the Japanese one.
We watched the remake and we watched the series that came out.
Oh
not too
yeah,
long
I
ago.
think I wanted to watch the original.
You're
but
gonna
couldn't
hate.
Find it.
You're gonna hate the acting because a Japanese movie, so it's
Yeah.
not traditional Hollywood style acting. So
I might like it.
maybe you will, but yeah.
We'll
Typically, they don't act in the same way,
Typically, they don't act.
and they don't use like super famous actors. And even if they are famous,
You
they're
wouldn't
probably
know.
because like pop stars or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so yeah, Japanese is not like it doesn't have its Hollywood of actors.
Doesn't it?
I don't think so. I don't remember. There's no one famous from any Japanese movies that I've seen that are in another famous Japanese movie.
Jackie Chan?
There has to be.
There probably is,
There's
but
like that one guy who's in every like Bollywood movie.
maybe,
All right.
which is
Wow.
impressive considering their population.
So wait, where did we end up? What number was it at in the list?
I sent it
Just
to you.
under Terminator.
Yeah, it was just on the Terminator.
So that puts it at
Sorry, I did send it to you. I forgot to tell you exactly where it was. I think it was like in the teens.
It's
Third-
15.
15.
Nice.
Yes, fucking overrate. Everything on here is horror movies.
Yeah, you fucking underrate.
Yeah, you put Poltergeist up there. Remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, what's wrong with Poltergeist?
What do
You
you
know,
mean?
you said everything's horror movies, but there's
It's not. There's not that many
What
horror
do you mean?
movies.
I put Poltergeist up there.
Like he gave
4
it a good
movies in the
rating.
top 10 are horror.
That's a lot.
That's a good portion.
That's 40%.
Do you want to know what the other percentage is?
Action.
Probably, yeah. It's like,
Action.
Yeah, our bottom ones, the below fives,
Action.
are actually
Action.
get warranted to be down there.
Yeah.
They're really bad.
Action.
Yeah.
Martyrs.
Okay, Kane.
Leprechaun,
Action's
Triangle.
40% too.
So we've got to stop putting action up
Yeah,
there.
but action is a very broad category.
So it's horror.
Because, like, you got Fifth Element, like, that's action, but it's more like a sci-fi style
Alright,
action.
Fifth Element, sci-fi action.
Mad Max is,
Dystopian action.
yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason, horror action.
I didn't do Freddy
The
versus...
Matrix,
I didn't do
sci-fi
Freddy versus
action.
Jason. That's...
American Beauty, drama action.
Shut up, Kane. Liar, liar. Comedy action.
Shut the fuck up.
I'd say the only one there that stands out, I think, is American Beauty.
That's a good movie. I like
Yeah, I
that
like
movie.
That was a good movie.
That's a thriller.
Yeah.
Really.
Actually, is that
It's a drama, maybe?
It's a
is that a drama with partial comedy?
Drama, comedy.
Like a dark comedy.
Need to do more movies like that.
Yeah,
Get
if I
some
could
more dramas
remember
in there.
any, I would.
What's the crime as the
What's-
Frighteners is 12?
Why is that too high?
Frighteners is a great movie.
It's true. Frighteners.
Frighteners beats Halloween 2018.
It should.
It
It's an
beat...
actual problem.
You know what people
it
may
beat
say it's a
Goodfellas.
crime.
It beat Goodfellas.
Okay, that's something.
Goodfellas was crap.
It's so boring.
Literally, probably won more awards than anything on this list.
Did I ask?
I know you don't. Terrible taste in movies.
I think we should end the podcast.
With
End it.
Aaron telling us, oh, if we did, he did.
All right,
The
are you
Grudge.
ready? I'm going to end this podcast with the immortal words of Aaron. Bellow, bad boy, bunny. Ha ha, bubbly. Ah, I give up. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
NPC